All right, are we alive? There we are. Get the microphone switched over. I think we are cooking on a Sunday night, and we're delayed with the microphone, delayed getting started up in general because we had to find a classic game companion to throw on in the background with this Game 7 Cavs versus Pistons. I guess we just have to be surrounded by sports. It is what it is. Thankfully, we do, of course, have a little multi-TV setup capabilities. So we've got baseball on one of the TVs. I guess baseball's made it into the rotation just because of, what's on at the moment. And I guess, are we claiming the Padres right now? They're up 4-0 on the Is it the Marlins or the Mariners? I think it's the Marlins, the Seattle Marlins. I guess, hey, can we claim a baseball team if we don't know all of the baseball team logos 100% with 100% confidence? I'm not sure. I guess, I don't think baseball fans are like did we just say it? A stuck-up fan base, or like a closed-off sort of fan base? Like, I mean, we're all thinking it as we say it. The soccer fans, it is what it is. They do it to themselves. But I guess except for Sam, of course. Sam's obviously, the one welcoming soccer fan. But outside of that, it's like if you claim to be a soccer fan, like, you immediately just get quizzed about your soccer knowledge. And you're like, okay, I lied. I guess I just, in theory, like it. I guess you're right. I hate soccer. It is what it is. Hockey maybe a little like that, though, I don't really know if you ever run into hockey fans that much outside of, hockey cities. It is what it is. But, shout out to the hockey cities as well. But, I think baseball fans are pretty, do they really care? I guess they care, obviously, about people watching the sport because they've been making the moves and the effort to, unlike the NBA, the baseball has actually been making an effort to make the sport watchable, in a sense. And, the problem for us is, we're the degenerate basketball fans that are literally going to be watching all the time. It does not matter. I guess it does matter because we want to watch good basketball. And, you can tell. You can tell at the end of the day, you do, throw highlights on from certain eras, and you're like, oh, take me back to this time. Oh, the basketball was so good, blah, blah, blah. Last year's playoff run was pretty fun because there was a different way that it was being refereed. It was being officiated than in the past, so it did change the style of play a little bit. But, obviously sometimes that goes overboard as well, too. But, I mean, in terms of quality basketball as well, too. I mean, we're getting excited for tomorrow night's game, Spurs versus Thunder as well. So, there's just a lot going on in the sports world right now. But we mentioned that classic game, and obviously, speaking of excitement as well, everybody's, I guess, I was gonna say everybody is excited about Drake's Iceman album. Everybody was excited about Drake's Iceman album. No, we won't say that. But, obviously, I will say that I am a little excited. Not excited, but is relieved the right word? Pause. I don't know. Again, this is not even our Kendrick fandom talking here. This is our Spurs fandom talking. What do we mean? Because, Drake taking the Iceman nickname in 2026. And, rest in peace, Val Kilmer as well, too. He obviously has a claim to the Iceman nickname. And Drake was modeling it more off of, I think, the Marvel. There was like a Marvel character, Iceman. I mean, one that we didn't, I guess, obviously we know more the movie characters. So, is that somebody that Drake knew about, or did somebody in Drake's team, like, it's like, this is a good idea, we should do that? Or was Drake Googling, like, superheroes named, he might have Googled superheroes named Drake and then got Bobby Drake. I guess if we Google it now, Bobby Drake's going to be one of the ones that, pop up, because, again, Drake stole the Iceman moniker that way. But our guy, we're saying our guy, but he is our guy because he's Spurs family. George Gervin, chat, we have to bring him up. George Gervin is, the Spurs Iceman, the basketball Iceman. Anyways, obviously the Iceman poster, if we have a chance to mention the Iceman poster, we will, chat. We have to bring it up. At least, I don't know, are we contractually obligated to mention the Spurs? We have a contract signed with the Spurs. I guess it would be more of a Nike thing, right, than a Spurs thing. But regardless, the greatest poster in NBA history, the greatest posed poster in NBA history, that's for sure. It's obviously not like a poster dunk or anything like that, or, a cool in-game image, because, you get like the LeBron Wade lob situation where, Wade's celebrating and LeBron's going up for the dunk. There's a couple of, there's like the MJ jumping from the free throw line picture. There's a couple of like MJ, tongue out, hangman or what would hey, yo, what's it called? Jumpman chat. Hey, yo. Hang time is what we're thinking of. We're getting our words confused with all due respect. But, the Jumpman logo is a couple of Jumpman situations is like the iconic pictures there. But in terms of, like a staged situation where it's like a photo shoot, this has to be the best photo shoot as well. Again, speaking of, hey, LeBron and Jordan, I guess Magic and Bird as well, kind of the iconic shoe ad where they're together, I think. But, again, those iconic for sure, but they're not really as cool as the Iceman logo. The Jordan one I was thinking of was the one where he's got the two basketballs stretched out. I feel like anytime you go into a memorabilia store, you see that one, that poster for sale. And then LeBron has a version of that, doesn't he? Kind of maybe like the back tat chosen one situation, I feel like. But again, shout out to the Iceman. We've said before we have to get our hands on the jumpsuit. Hey, yo. And make no mistake, I've tried to Google and find this jacket. But we might have to figure out like a custom commission. We might have to like get it commissioned custom. I don't know. I could go to Etsy and see. Can anybody on Etsy make this Iceman jumpsuit? Hey, yo. We should have done that for the. Can Drake drop Can he drop a fourth album titled Iceman? We need a fourth album drop so we can run back an album review in this Iceman jumpsuit. Hey yo, it is what it is. Would it have been more well received if he had done this for the album cover instead of the MJ glove as well too? I don't know, because with all due respect to George Gervin, maybe not quite as iconic as Michael Jackson. It is what it is. I feel like we don't, we're not being even disrespectful as well too. We're trying to elevate his name here, but get him more popular. The real, but that's what we're saying. I don't know if Drake quite took the Iceman name long term. Like, again, this was definitely a fun era. The branding was really, really great for the stuff that he was able to do. I think the Iceman album itself as well too. We'll obviously see how that one aged. Maid of Honor and Habiti, obviously the conversation of what those albums are is one thing. And obviously there are gonna be songs that the Drake community goes back to on those albums as well. I'm already defending I'm defending the fact that if we go back and listen to it, like, hey, I was like, there's gonna be one song on those albums that we like. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But obviously in terms of a full project, Iceman is the one that kind of stands alone, at least of those three as well. But again, I don't know if Drake is a better Iceman than George Gervin as well too. Or hey, yo, do we have to do the Iceman power rankings at some point? Those were the ones that I could think of right away. You've got, I guess, now Drake as well too. If this Drake era with George Gervin, Val Kilmer, and then, like we're saying, the knowing about the superhero now as well too, Bobby Drake. So, but I guess there's got to be more. There's got to be more. But hey, ChatGPT, give us a list of Icemen. But maybe, I guess, is that going to be clear? I'm not sure. But again, I feel like George Gervin still has a strong case to be the best one. I mean, Basketball Hall of Famer. If we're just talking about the names that you can think of in pop culture like that, I think Val Kilmer would be the one that maybe more, have more people seen Top Gun than maybe the 70s Spurs. That could be the case. Though, I guess George Gervin and Val Kilmer were kind of playing at a similar time. They were their careers did overlap a little bit, because what year did Top Gun was 80? So the game that we do have on in the background right now is 1979. 79 playoffs, 78, 79 season. So, I guess, did George Gervin did he have a better 1980 than Val Kilmer? And that would have been early on AO, obviously, as well too. His career, I think, gets a little bit more at the peak of its powers in the 90s. As well too. Obviously, that's when he gets the Batman role. Ayo, chat, we can't spell. Let's see if we can finally get this name right here. Okay, George Gervin played till 86. A couple of those years in, I guess 1 year in Chicago, and then an overseas league maybe as well too. Did not play other pro league. I guess maybe other American league potentially. But the 80-81 season, he was 27 a game, 49% from the field. The next year as well, 32 a game. 50% from the field. So still cooking. I mean, was, top 5 in MVP votings both of those years. And I mean, I guess his stats were, pretty good up until the end as well. 50% from the field, 21 points a game, and 84, 85. I guess he's going to be leading the Spurs to a title in his second to last season. Maybe he needs a little bit of help at that point. But still, obviously, a productive player. And then the 85, 86 Bulls, there's been some 2Ks that we've queued up in the past where you can play with the 85, 86 Bulls. And it's, it's the team is on there, I think, to, have a younger version. Is that the year that MJ won the dunk contest as well? One of those early years. So, you get sort of that, again, early, like the short shorts Jordan as well, but he's like, peak athleticism, hasn't quite developed the post-up game in the same type of way. And then there's that iconic highlight that I always think of him where he's doing like the crazy like multiple between the legs dribble, but he's like standing in place. Is that against the Celtics where he hits it like 3 or 4 times and then kind of goes for like a little mid-range? Like that, I guess that's not like the quintessential MJ highlight of that era. But because, you think more of the athleticisms and the dunks and the flying to the basket. But, just in terms of how he was operating the rest of the scoring game as well, too, again, just fast the entire time, obviously. And then, you go to later in his career, and it is a little bit more half-court, slow down. Not to say that, again, he wasn't obviously athletically capable as well, but just a different style of play. But I guess, we do have to, what do you say, pay homage to George Gervin at this time. Since he does, still, like we're saying, have to be the number 1 Iceman. I guess Val Kilmer's 80s, obviously rest in peace as well, too. But let's see what we've got here. The Doors is when he plays Morrison in 91. So I guess, Top Gun is 86, not 80. So I guess a little bit later on. So I guess that makes more sense. Again, would he have had, 15 years of acting before Heat? Compared to 11, it makes a little bit more sense. 93, Tombstone, True Romance, The Real McCoy. And then I guess didn't necessarily do a movie in 94, but Tombstone, True Romance, Batman Forever, and then Heat at 93 to 95, The Saint in 97 as well. So, obviously, pumping out great movies. Hey, it is what it is. But kind of a more limited IMDb when you look at it as well, too. I don't know, what was going into the decisions in terms of where he was working. Because, again, you don't really get to... If he gets his first movie role in 84, he doesn't do multiple movies in a year until 93. Almost a decade into his career. I don't know, is that like he doesn't make multiple rounds of the playoffs until 10 years in? I guess we're not necessarily saying that. Because, again, in 95, he gets Batman. So it's not like, it's not like he just, is a new star per se in 95, but again, in terms of him really, really working multiple ways like that as well too. We might have to run True Romance at some point. Is that streaming everywhere? Is that that's Tony Scott, Tarantino. I've been thinking about that for a minute. Hey, let's see. Maybe that one is like a free on YouTube situation. I feel like that one might be there. But again, that's such a okay, it's not streaming anywhere right now. That's obviously such a, a great production combo. Tony Scott and Quentin Tarantino. But, it's just fun that, obviously, it's not fun that Tarantino's not directing. But it's fun that Tarantino is working with a great director for his written material. And I guess, in some ways, Tarantino's got to be the best writer that Tony Scott's ever worked with. Did Tony Scott ever do a movie with Robert Towne or something? I'm trying to think. Who wrote Deja Vu, Chad? Man on Fire. I guess Crimson Tide. Obviously, I guess we could name the movies, but I'm not necessarily remembering the writers of each of these. What's the best screenplay? I guess outside of True Romance that Tony Scott's ever done. Again, it feels like Tony Scott, obviously it is based on more of his directing, but the movies are, set piece type movies more so than script movies. Though they are good, like Enemy of the State is a good concept as well too, but it's not like it's not like a dialogue movie per se. Hey, yo, it might be Crimson Tide. Who wrote that? Simpson and Bruckheimer producing. Story by Michael Schiffer and Richard P. Hendrick. Michael Schiffer. I feel like that name. He doesn't have any credits here on the. Oh, screenplay. Here we go. I was gonna say, why is his Wikipedia page not have a link on it? Colors, Lean on Me, Crimson Tide, The Peacemaker, Very Bad Things, Four Feathers, Le Divorce in 2003. I guess no, he didn't write that. Just produced it. And didn't write Very Bad Things as well too. Is Colors the Sean Penn movie? Hey, yeah. And then Lean on Me as well too. Morgan Freeman. So I mean, I guess there's critical reception in the movies that he's done. I mean, shout out to Morgan Freeman as well too. But yeah, I guess again in terms of screenplays, maybe that's why we're saying we need to run True Romance, because Tony Scott never really worked with like a writer in this way, or it never worked out as well too. Novel by Peter Abrams. Did he The Fan? Did he also do the screenplay as well too? Screenplay by Christopher. I was gonna say, what's this name? Phoff? Hey yo, Christopher Off. Phoff, P-H-O-E-F. Phoff Sutton. Hey yo, Phoff Sutton. Phoff. Oh, it's Phoff. Christopher Phoff Sutton. Hey yo, is that a nickname for Christopher Phoff? I feel like Peter Abrams is a popular novelist, maybe. I guess if we really are gonna, stretch our knowledge, hey yo, it'd be authors of actual books. I mean, we'd really the names are limited at that point. Colleen Hoover, like who's writing books these days? I'm not sure, but I guess outside of her, we're not too locked in. But hey yo, just in terms of names, is she the best at like the big artists or big font of her names on the books? Because if I go to the bookstore to look for we go to the bookstore to look for movies. Hey, yo, it is what it is. The only thing we're reading at the bookstore is the movie cover titles, I guess. But hey, yo, if you walk past a book section, I mean, you see Colleen Hoover's name. It's just like they don't even have the titles of the books on the names. It's just, this is Colleen Hoover's pink cover. This is the yellow cover, the green cover. We're just saying, like, they just change up the style of the book. And it's like Colleen Hoover's like the Jason Statham of authors, chat. Hey yo, shout out the All Fantasy Everything podcast, one of the best, definitely our favorite. But there's a joke that they made on that pod about all Jason Statham movies should just be, maybe it was a joke that they cited from another comedian. I don't know. Just this is real comedy inception at this point. We're really just stealing the joke at the. It is what it is. It's the original author's been lost. It's just now urban legend. But the joke is that just Jason Statham movies should just be Jason Statham 1, Jason Statham 2, Jason Statham 3, because they're all the same. And I guess funny enough as well too, we've had conversations with people at work that are like, oh, I've played one Jason Statham movie and then like either fallen asleep or left the room or something, and another Jason Statham movie has been playing, but you don't realize that it's another one. You're like, wait, is this still the same movie? Because again, they're all kind of the same thing. But I mean, shout out Jason Statham. I mean, he's obviously pretty cool in his movies, but I guess is Colleen Hoover like that? I guess in a sense, is it just all the books just Colleen Hoover 1, Colleen Hoover 2, Colleen Hoover 3? I don't know. But and maybe they're making those in prestige TV, but I guess I haven't really seen the big movie adaptation that is Colleen Hoover. I don't think is Colleen Hoover Wuthering Heights. Hey yo, who wrote that book? Hey yo. I guess if we're ever gonna read something, is Margot Robbie the star of the book too? I guess and that's the beautiful thing about the writing, is that you can just use your imagination. Hey yo. I guess is the guy gonna be Jacob Elordi? Is it gonna be a different Hollywood star? Are we just gonna cast ourselves? Hey yo, how tall is Elordi? We're a 6'5" version of ourselves, maybe. It's like a 2K player almost. Jacob Elordi's just the base of our 2K player at this point. Hey yo, it is what it is. But is that the future of AI, chat? You can just put yourself in the movie. You're just like, oh, I guess I just want to star in Wuthering Heights, I guess. Just go ahead and just make me the star. Netflix is like, just put your face in, do the face scan, and we'll just, you can edit your you can edit your face on any star. I guess, obviously, respectfully, we're saying respectfully here. I guess, I would. Wuthering Heights works for this scenario. We could stick to movies that work in this scenario. Maybe that's just maybe Netflix with the face scan, like, it just straight up blocks movies. It's just like, okay, obviously we have the data here, we know what you look like, so these are the movies that you can be cast in. Like, again, it's like, if we're gonna be Crimson Tide, like, we have to be Gene Hackman in that movie. Like, we're not gonna get super crazy, but. Yeah, I guess that I that'd be fun. I'd be Gene Hackman in that movie. That'd be great. Is it gonna be like us with the old man filter? Hey yo, or is it gonna be like a younger version of us? Because that's where it would get a little interesting. I guess it changes the dynamic of the movie a little bit. Like two sort of competing officers that are trying to rise up the ranks at the same time as well too. It's not necessarily the older officer, senior commander type of vibe in that movie, but that'd be fun. I guess we could be like Christopher Walken in Man on Fire as well too. Again, we got to find the roles that work. And I guess speaking of Val Kilmer, he is in Deja Vu. Hey yo, you never think about Deja Vu as a Denzel Washington Val Kilmer vehicle, because I guess Paula Patton steals the show as well. But I guess we could be Val Kilmer in that movie. Are we gonna outact Val Kilmer? Is that the next feature where it's like, okay, you can just like we're saying, just cast yourself in the original role, or you can try to reenact the scenes. Hey yo, it'll be like, what was that old Xbox device you could get and like do the motion games? Hey yo, it was like, it almost made it a little bit Wii like in some ways. I forget what that's the Kinect. I want to say it was the Kinect. I doubt that this technology still is around. Hey, yo. I don't think that Xbox really went this way. Yeah, Xbox Kinect is a discontinued line of motion sensing input devices developed by Microsoft for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Okay, so it did go another generation. Is this like the newer version of it? But we did have this because we did have a 360 back in the day. But I guess this is like the Netflix Connect. Hey yo, with AI, and then you could just act the movie scenes again. I guess that could get kind of crazy. That could get kind of crazy as well too. I'm thinking more action movies. Again, we're only possibly thinking of the wholesome route. I guess we weren't a second ago when we were thinking about Wuthering Heights. But this and the reenacting, I was thinking about action movies. I'm going to be like John Wick and over here, but like with no actual stunt people. I guess, I don't know. Are we gonna have to recruit a friend to, be the stunt man person that's gonna, be the guy that we're battling? I guess potentially. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to workshop this with Netflix in a meeting. I think this is the initial part of the technology as well, but there is something there. Get the audience start. There is no movie stars anymore, right? That's the whole argument. So it's like, well, what's gonna get people to the theater? You're the movie star. Hey, yo, I guess that'd be difficult in the theater. That'd be like a Apple Vision Pro situation where everybody's got a headset on. It's not even really a community experience, but I guess it would be, because you could still do the see-through thing, and then it would just like, the camera could still have the theater in front of the screen. So it would still have all of the, pause, like the heads of all the people in front of you. I guess assuming it's a sold out movie. It's like Mission Impossible 12 or something like that. Hey, yo. And maybe those are one of the ones, Tom Cruise is one of the few that we're not recasting. I don't know. But again, for the roles that we can take. But if it's like, you can be the star of Dune Part 3. You can watch the Chalamet version, or, throw on the meta glasses and now all of a sudden you're in Dune 3. Hey, yo, and then, obviously, I guess Apple's already got everybody's Face ID anyways. Face ID on all the phones and stuff, so. I mean, they already have hey, yo, they already had the clone, making in process. It's already done at this point. It's already stashed in a warehouse somewhere, and, you know, it's already made. They're just waiting for the, you know, I guess the right time. I don't know the right time, but, you know, they're just waiting for whenever it's supposed to happen, I guess. But I don't know. I guess that's not a movie that we're recasting. That's just a movie that we're casting at this point. I guess that is kind of like Us, though, in some ways. You know, just a look-alike situation. But I'm thinking of a scene where, you know, the hero, the protagonist. I guess it's like a Tenet situation. We just name our guy protagonist. But you know, we got our hero guy stumbling into the warehouse, and it's just like, I guess it's just like a bunch of celebrities. Hey yo, he's like, whoa, they got, you know, there's the Austin Butler clone. I guess, you know, we're thinking of Dune as well too. Donovan Mitchell. Speaking of Game 7, it is Game 7, right? It's elimination, up by 20. Hey, yo. You know, he's like walking through the warehouse. He's like, is that the Detroit Pistons? Like, they just have all the Pistons just lined up over there. There's the Rem and Sam pod. We're like, oh, you know, thankfully the protagonist in the movie that we write, he listens to the pod. There's a couple of, that's product placement, chat, right there. That's product placement. We're making a movie. Our protagonist is driving around in the car listening to Rem and Sam takes. Hey, yo, it is what it is. We're like, oh, he loves the show. Turns out John Wick 7, he really loves the Rem and Sam pod. But our John Wick reboot, I guess, do we have to reboot the franchise after Ballerina? I don't think so. I think it's still gonna, it is still gonna go. Is there a Ballerina 2027, 2028 movie in the works? Ballerina 2? I guess there has to be, right? At this point, they don't make a movie unless they know that they're making 3 of them. Oh, chat, we got them. But I guess, you know, Netflix Connect, stay on the lookout for it. I guess, you know, do we just develop the technology? Is that Rem and Sam Plus? Is that the Rem and Sam streaming service? We just make movies and you're the star of the movie. I guess there is a little, like, there are apps that can't do that in some ways. Like, hey, yo, we're gonna be Brad Pitt in Fight Club, chat. Troy? I guess it's got to be Troy. I know that, you know, Fight Club is the more iconic sort of, you know, hey, yo, like, you know, do we say, I was going to say, you know, again, like the iconic, you know, good-looking Brad Pitt roles in the movies, but I feel like if we were to interview the public on this one, you know, I feel like Thelma and Louise as well, too. That's definitely in the timeline, you know, of that's the first, that's the 07 finals for Brad Pitt right there. Hey, yo. I don't know. That's like, oh, you know, Brad Pitt's here to, who is this guy? He's here to stay. I guess it's not necessarily the 07 finals because we knew who LeBron was by the 07 finals. But it was like when the rumors of when those first highlights of Wemby versus Gobert. It was like they'll go. Hey, yo, what are we saying? Those Gobert highlights. There we go. We got it. It was like those Gobert highlights. Where it's like, oh, Gobert's hitting these threes in this one-on-one game in the offseason. But it's like, who's this 16-year-old just cooking him in this one-on-one game? It's like, oh, Wembanyama. You know, little did we know, chat. Little did we know. Hey, yo. Little did we know he was just gonna be that, you know, be the greatest Spur of all time. No, hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo, the series against OKC hasn't even happened yet. It hasn't even happened yet. I mean, we don't even have to mention this Cavs-Pistons series. Do we just pivot to previewing Spurs-Thunder? Because that's what we're all looking forward to. I guess we can't necessarily say that it is the finals. Oh, Chad, it's official. Shea won the MVP as well. I guess we've kind of, have we not cared? The MVP is never, is that the take? The MVP's never mattered less until he, you know, gets the win over Wembanyama. No. It's great. Gilgeous-Alexander, only the 5th player to win MVPs in consecutive seasons in the past 40 years. Before turning 28? Hey, yo. Wait, I was like, this went from impressive to, is it not as impressive as I thought? But Jokic, Giannis, Steph, Duncan, Jordan, and LeBron. And Shea. I mean, Chad, it's no joke. It is what it is. Every retired player to win consecutive MVPs has been inducted to the Hall of Fame. This list includes Nash, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. I mean, hey, yo, no disrespect to Steve Nash, but, you know, I think Shea's got him. Well, because he has the title, right? That is the thing. Like we were saying I guess this was maybe a while ago, but we were like, is Shea better than Bob Cousy, right? You know, hey, yo. Like when, and it's not, you know, oh, you know, Shea would get Bob Cousy one-on-one. It's just like, just because that might be true. It's like, at what point do these guys' legacies still matter a little bit? Like, we can't just start moving the new guys up in the all-time rankings because we don't want to talk about Bob Cousy anymore. And maybe it is, and this goes to us, we're trying to watch some old games as well too and get some of that basketball knowledge, because again, we're degenerate fans as well too, so we care about knowing the history of the whole game, not just the game that we see. But that really is what the conversation becomes. And it's not just the conversation, the conversation online, the conversation on Twitter. It's, it's the lists that are being made on Fox Sports and ESPN and I guess, those are the two that are on TV at this point, obviously, outside of the YouTube and the Ringer and stuff like that. But, I guess TV channels, that'd be the two. Am I missing? I guess NBC, because I guess ABC doesn't have like a separate. It is ESPN's is their sports division of the company. Little corporate breakdown here from the REMINGTOM pod. But NBC doesn't necessarily. Well, I guess FS1 and ESPN aren't like national, like get them over the free airwaves type of channels. But NBC Sports isn't quite on the level of those two, I would say, just in terms of the talk show stuff, because you still have Coward and then First Things First on Fox Sports. So those are still major conversation drivers, again, in terms of shows that are on actual television at this point, and then the ESPN shows. But then again, obviously the shows that are, like we're saying, on YouTube, Nightcap and Pivot and like we said, The Ringer and some of those other ones that would actually also drive conversation as well. But I guess, how does that go to Shai's MVP? What are we saying? It does go to the fact that I did see First Things First rank Shai over Bob Cousy, because that show will play over the TV at the bar at work, but it'll play at the time when the restaurant's kind of dead in the middle of the afternoon. So it's like, okay, we're kind of looking up, paying attention to whatever the graphics they're posting at that point. And it's like, again, I get it. Shai over Bob Cousy. It's the easy thing to say. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, especially if you're considering a second MVP in this argument, and then maybe a second title, second finals MVP. Like, that stuff is still possible as well too. And if he continues to accomplish those things, I'm not gonna like Bob Cousy's gonna have to go down the list at some point. It is what it is. But again, that's what the conversation does become. Is it just becomes like, what are the it unofficially becomes what are the best guys of the era, and then shout out to some of the names that do live on in a sense. Like Magic and Bird will commonly, I say commonly, like, and I meant to say more consistently, but they'll still consistently get brought up today. Again, they're like mega basketball stars. They're not forgotten from the NBA fan consciousness. Dr. J is the type of guy where if you bring him up, you're like, oh yeah, Dr. J's as popular as all these guys, but I feel like he's not always the first guy to get brought up in these conversations, so he might be a little underrated. But Kareem and Wilton Russell as well too, are still the guys. I mean, those are the five. Those are the five guys, pre-90s that people respect. It really is, though. It really is. And then you start getting, like, Isaiah Thomas and stuff. Like, people just don't bring these guys up. Like, Isaiah versus Shai, like, that's an interesting one because Shai, 6'5", Shai versus Isaiah. But, Isaiah's an MF-er, chat. Hey, you're telling me, Shai's not going to have a difficult time with Isaiah Thomas, scrappy Isaiah Thomas guarding him? Hey, maybe they throw Dumars on, but I think Dumars might have to end up, take Jalen Williams. Hey, I hate to use the ChatGPT to simulate a Shai versus Isaiah Thomas. Did we simulate Shai versus Walt Frazier? We meant to do that. I don't know if we actually just left the mystery unsolved, because we know ChatGPT is going to give it to Shai. It is what it is. The offense, the 30-point, the stats are the easy simulation win for Shai there. But again, and we're not to discredit him when he wins his second MVP. Like, the point of this is also should be that Shai is in the conversation with these all-time guys. But it's like there are a couple that I guess are you still need to remember their greatness as well too. I guess the league MVP thing is, of course, interesting for Shai. Again, that is obviously a step up, and it did say in a certain time. I guess Cousy had to have won back-to-back MVPs, right, chat? Hey, would he have been overrated? Only one! Cousy only won one MVP, chat? Okay, he's overrated. He's overrated. He won the MVP at 56, 57. But, you know, that the playmaker sort of taking a back seat to some of the guys on the team, maybe, you know, didn't help as well, too. I guess he didn't get MVP votes his first handful of seasons in the league. So I don't know if that was, were they not giving out the MVP as well? I guess they don't have the data for awards voting. Let's see here. 55 to 56 through 55 to 56 through 79 to 80. Official NBA MVP voting was done by the players, and then 80 to 81 official MVP voting conducted by the media. So, you know, and I think for the most part, it was, you know, it worked out. I guess, you know, we could consult some historians and see the years where it was twisted a little bit, but I guess they started giving out the MVP in 55, 56 potentially. So the minute that they did, he was third to Arizin and Pettit, and then won it the year after that. I guess the same top three. You know, those were the dominant players. And then did Russell get drafted that season there? Maybe this season. I don't know. Here we can see. Did he win the MVP his first year or his second year? I guess his second year in the league. I guess. Oh, he was seventh the previous year before. But and how many did Russell win? 3 MVPs in a row? 4? He did win 3 in a row as well too. And you know, 3 in 4 out of 5 years, if we're going for the, you know, extended run there as well too. But I mean, you know, I think we've also, you know, checked the tapes, have been on the other side of the Shea argument as well too, where it's like, you know, he is on that historical track as a guy, but it's just like, you know, just keep the legends up the list as long as you possibly can. Like, you know, again, Bob Cousie's career was not for nothing. Hey, yo, like let the man, you know, has Shea ever been in Blue Chips? Maybe, you know, and I was thinking about, hey, yo, back to Drake real quick. Hey, yo, I was thinking about this. I was like, does Drake need to go back to acting? Hey, yo, that's not what I meant to say. That's not what I meant to say. I should have workshopped to take a little bit more, you know, to pitch it a little bit better. You know, if we approach him and be like, hey, Drake, go back to acting. Like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. But if we're like, hey, maybe a way to get back in the good graces and drop a good project, make a movie. I don't know. But really what it was is, what was I watching the other day? It was this morning. I was watching, what was it called? Half Past Dead? It's Steven Seagal's in it. Hey, yo. But that's not the main reason that we clicked on it. It also had Ja Rule and Morris Chestnut. So I was like, well, I guess I have to, you know, if Ja Rule's in it, if Tubi, this was, I mean, do we have to say it was on Tubi? Hey, yo. But I was like, you know, if Tubi's going to recommend us Ja Rule movies, I guess we're not going to say no. You know, we'll just go ahead and make sure to have that filmography on lockdown, you know, see every Ja Rule movie. But I was looking at some of the other movies that he did. And there was a movie that he had with Praz where I was like, you know, hey, yo, like, Praz was starring in a movie? Was this the 90s or the 2000s? Like, who is the, oh, hey, yo, I guess, well, what's his, oh, here he is. I was like, what's his full name? Praz, shout out, from the Fugees. But I don't know exactly how many movies he ended up starring in. Made a cameo in Mystery Man. And then, oh, Turn It Up. This is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Turn It Up, Praz and Ja Rule. Oh, chat, look who it is. Jason Statham. Hey, yo, okay, they talked me into it. And Faith, it was a Faith Evans as well, too. I saw that, and I was like, we got to add this back to the watch list. Hey, yo. Tubi, they should have, I guess I was just looking it up on IMDb earlier. What is it called? Oh, Turn It Up. Hey, yo. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, I already added it in. It's not streaming anywhere. Yeah, Faith Evans is not listed very, very, what are we saying? Highly. Not highly, but, you know, she's not listed first up on the cast on IMDb here on the app. So I would have had to have scrolled. I didn't scroll through the cast. I was like, Ja Rule and Praz? Hey, yo. I guess that should have been enough to talk me into it right there. But I guess, yeah, they got Statham, like, 7th build on the cast here. But I guess, you know, again, looking back on the Wikipedia, you know, probably the names that are going to be mentioned. They don't even have a plot for the movie up here as well, too. No even, what do you say, like, recap. No summary as well. Just nothing. Yeah, approval rating of 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ignore that, chat. Ignore that. That doesn't matter. It's got Praz and Ja Rule. Hey, yo. I mean, it's fine. We're all, you know, you're on TikTok anyways. You're just going to look up at every once in a while and see Ja Rule on TV. That's fine. That's perfect. Hey, yo, and Statham, I guess, and Faith Evans, shout out. But what are we saying? Yeah, I was like, hey, who is the pros equivalent in 2026? I guess we don't necessarily have like groups the same way that we do as well too. Do we need to bring back groups? I guess shout out to Big X the Plug. He is really working on the collective sort of effort there. I guess Griselda and stuff. There are groups. Hey, I've said groups are dead. That's not the case. But in terms of kind of like a true mainstream situation, like they kind of are not as popular as they used to be. I guess Denzel Curry just dropped a collective album, so maybe they're gonna start to maybe it's time. Maybe AAO, maybe some of the rappers are like it's time to bring that back a little bit. But maybe they need to start like speaking of Denzel Curry, like I guess I think Denzel Curry is a better rapper. No disrespect, or no disrespect to Praz. I guess that has really nothing to do with the actor conversation. But I feel like they could be similar levels. I don't know. I don't really know much about Praz's solo career. Let's take a look at his albums here and see. Ghetto Superstar did peak at 55 in the U.S. when he dropped in 98, and then Winner Draw in 05 as well. I mean, again, I don't know if he had like was he the #1 draft pick of the Fugees? I don't know if that would have been been the case. Who was the third guy next to Knuppel and Cooper Flag at Tyrese Proctor chat? Hey yo, Praz little Tyrese Proctor, like high second round pick. But what are we saying? I guess 50s. I guess maybe commercially they are kind of similar. At least again, obviously Denzel Curry has sustained a little bit more commercial success over the course of his career. But like a guy, like Denzel Curry not being in movies. Hey yo, Jid not being like, I guess Joey is obviously pursuing it, and Freddie Gibbs maybe a little bit as well too. I guess we might have to look into the Freddie Gibbs acting career because he was talking about that on the one album. But I don't know if I've seen him in a ton of roles yet, but maybe he's doing TV stuff as well too here. Let's see, films for Gibbs. Night Patrol. Okay, yeah, what is this? I guess I did see this. Oh, Jermaine Fowler's in this. Ooh, okay, shout out. We are Jermaine Fowler fans. Justin Long as well too. RJ Seiler. YG? Oh, that's true, YG. So again, there are some guys carrying obviously the names, but again, it's just not the same. It's obviously not the same. And guys starring as well too. Like this is, I guess no disrespect to the other actors, but there's not like a rapper starred vehicle in the same way. Like they're part of these collective casts, if that makes sense. It's not YG and Halle Bailey making a movie and it's like the rom-com. Who was the guy? Was that Ray J. Jean Page who in that movie? What was that You, Me, and Tuscany? That movie that just dropped. I guess I don't know that guy's name per se. Hey, maybe there's obviously maybe we're going to the movie for Halle Bailey, but what are we saying? And just the cinematic experience of it as well too. But I guess we can be fans of people, right? Hey yo, what's it called? You, Me, and Tuscany? Is that what it's called? Is it and the symbol? Okay. Oh, chat. Hey yo. Wikipedia just sliding in a suggestion right before we click on it. Hey yo, why is this movie being dropped down the list? But hey, gross $22 million against a $18 million budget. I mean, chat. I feel bad that we didn't go see this, but I mean, we made up our minds that we knew that not made up our minds, but we made the call that the Michael movie was gonna be the movie that we were gonna see for Q1 of the year. Hey yo, it is what it is. I would say H1 of the year. Half one. I mean, I think I'm gonna go see the Odyssey in theaters, but I'm still not 100% sure if I am. Like I might go if if everybody's going, I guess I'll go. But even I don't know yet. If it drops, is it drop in August? If it drops in H2, but we obviously got Doomsday in H2, so that's a double feature. Hey yo, we're gonna, and by December, I mean, come on, we gotta start saving now. It is what it is. But again, it was like okay, we have to see Michael. So that was the one. I guess we can't read the plot here. We don't want to spoil it because we do want to see it. Is it? I can't imagine it's streaming yet. It hasn't been out for a month at this point, but maybe it hit something now. I guess you can just. I guess we could. Do we buy it, chat? Hey yo. I guess that would probably be more than the theater, but still, I don't know. I do kind of want to see it. But Ray J. John, like I said, Ray J. John Page was the start of this. So yeah, instead of Ray J. John Page, instead if it was just like some rapper or some artist as well too. But, again, like ASAP Rocky in Highest to Lowest, like that's a great role. Also, we did the dope watch along on the 10th anniversary of that movie last year. But great supporting roles for ASAP Rocky. There, his performance in Highest to Lowest is definitely grown on me a little bit. Pause. I'm not saying it's the best ASAP Rocky could ever be as an actor, but again, in terms of watching it as a movie, it's it's a great watch. But what are we saying? Again, just the amount of rappers getting chances as actors. There's no movie stars, so just start casting rappers. Just start casting these guys again. Or obviously any type of artist. I'm just saying that because that's who we're thinking of with Drake and just who's in our rotation. But again, it could be like Leon Thomas. Has Leon Thomas done acting roles? We were just talking to somebody at work that said they saw him in concert with Bruno Mars recently. And I was like, I mean, you say Bruno Mars in concert, and in theory that should be the thing that would get you there, to the concert to buy a ticket. But then I was like, if Leon Thomas is there, I mean, I'd go see Leon Thomas in concert probably over Bruno Mars if I had to choose between one. But film, he's in a film called Rolling Loud, an upcoming comedy. Owen Wilson, Christian Convoy, Matt Rife. Henry Winkler. So this, I guess there's going to be a lot of rappers because it's going to be about Rolling Loud. Sexy Red, Ty Dolla $ign, Ski Mask the Slump God. Yeah, Chet, like let's get Sexy Red in some movies. Ty Dolla $ign, cast Ty Dolla $ign in some stuff maybe. Ski Mask as well. Hopefully this is a launching point for all these guys. But it does look like there has been some starring appearances for Leon Thomas, maybe more TV here. A recurring role in Insecure as well. New edition story, Fear for the Walking Dead. The pilot. Did he get killed off in the pilot, chat? I guess maybe he just did like a song, voice work or something. I don't know. But again, some of these guys, Pusha T. I guess who needs to be cast in movies? I guess does Kendrick? Kendrick has had some TV cameos. There's that one where he plays, he plays the crack addict. Is that in like a Power show? That might be in one of the Power series of TV shows. I'm not exactly certain what that cameo is in, but that clip will hit the algorithm every once in a while. And again, I just do you tread lightly, but if anything, it was his commit. You could definitely see his commitment to the role. And if anything, the first step to being a good actor is you have to be committed to it. So I mean, acting class 101 here from just put us. That's what we're gonna recast ourselves in a Netflix chat. We're gonna be the acting teacher and body double. The first step to being a good actor is being a confident actor. But that's kind of the struggle that the guy in body double is having, right? He's not a confident actor. I guess we need to probably cast ourselves as the star in body double, because he has a couple of fun scenes in that movie. I don't know. But I guess again, what is Freddie Gibbs been in for films? So we look at Night Patrol. That's right. That's what we were looking at there. But again, like what we were saying, Big X the plug for bringing back collectives as well too, bringing back groups. So we need more groups and we need more rappers in movies as well, because I think that is maybe that'd be a hot take to say it's my favorite genre of movie, because again, that is a genre different than like action movies. Like when I say that any movie starring a rapper is better than any heist movie, like would I rather have that over heist movies? Like, again, that becomes tough. I guess is it starring or movies with them in it? Because like we're saying, if it's movies with rappers in it, we do get Training Day, because it does have Snoop and Dre. So, Chad, I guess is that a better bar than anything on Iceman? No, of course not. Iceman's solid. But what are we saying? That does that does count, obviously. So, you know, we leave off some, like, I'm looking over at the DVD collection. Like, I don't think, does White Men Can't Jump have a rapper in it? Like, I don't, you know, does it have in a prominent role? And I'm trying to think, I guess, you know, go through the cast of every movie ever, right? You know, and figure it out. But as long as we could get Training Day, like, that would be clutch. I'm kind of set at that point. We're good to go. Any other collection of movies is good. But it's not even just rappers as well, too. Again, it's musical artists. Because if you're going musical artists, then, of course, you get, you know, the Whitney Houston filmography as well. So The Bodyguard, chat, hey, yo, between Training Day and The Bodyguard, like, you're kind of set. I mean, you've got a movie for everybody, chat. You've got a movie for everybody. You've got a movie if you want to have, you know, if you want to hang with the fellas. And then you got I guess, you know, but then that's the, like, what are we going to watch? Training Day? Like, let's throw on The Bodyguard and let's watch Whitney Houston. Because, you know, everybody wants to watch Whitney Houston, right? I mean, shout out. Obviously one of the great stars of all time. But rest in peace. But what are we saying? And then Purple Rain as well, too. Cradle to the Grave. Like, I do have a stack that is... I'm just ripping off movies that I have. Hey, yo. I do kind of have one that is just rappers, or, you know, again, artists. Is Prince a rapper? Prince is a rapper, right? The first ever rapper, Prince. Hey, yo. But Prince is hip hop, right? But what do we say? I guess that would be it, right? He's the first. Like, when did hip hop actually start? Because I guess in some ways you could, well, I guess, but, you know, soul and all that stuff. Hey, you know, it's always, you know, music is music, right? It's just the evolution of, you know, the stuff that's been before it. But and again, what's a music teacher we can recast ourselves in for a movie? But hey, yo, for what are we saying for movies? Maybe that's where Drake needs to go, chat. Hey, yo. But I am still, because like we've said, you know, with For All the Dogs, we were definitely, you know, aware, of the conversation. Like, okay, there is a divisiveness here. Like, this is not being received as, you know, like an instant classic. Again, that, I don't know if he submitted it for the Grammys, but I don't think it would have gotten nominated either, potentially, if it had. So, chat, the Cavs are just taking down the Pistons in Game 7 at home. 60 games, this is tough. 47 points in the first half. I don't even know there's much you can do here. At this point, Mitchell, 4 for 10, is not even, like, you know, playing that crazy well. I guess, yeah, obviously everybody else kind of stepping up in terms of efficiency, but Harden as well, too, 1 for 4. So they were, you know, firing threes up pretty crazy to start. So as a team, I guess if Morrell, chat, the Sam Morrell game in Game 7, 4 for 6. Mitchell, I guess, of the 4 that he's, you know, 2 for 4 from 3, so he's decent there. And then Strus 0 for 2, so Strus, I guess, hasn't even... Merrill took his powers for the night. Is that allowed? Is it allowed for Strus and Merrill to be good in the same game? What's the best, like, combined three-point shooting that they've had all year? They would be unstoppable if Max Strus and Sam Merrill were both playing well together. But Dennis Jenkins, I guess we got 33% for the Pistons, 42% for the what are we saying, the Cavs. I was scrolling back and forth. I was like, how are the numbers this far off? 6 for 18, 8 for 19. It doesn't seem like they should be 10% better from 3, but, you know, and again, they're up by 20. I don't think the 2 extra makes, the 6 extra points are overall the difference. 9 for 11 from 3, 12 for 20 from the free throw line. So they're not even good from the free throw line tonight as well, too. But still managing to, I guess, just the overall 2-point efficiency as well. Paul Reed 0 for 2. Paul Reed's holding him down. Asar Thompson 1 for 4. Oh, and Tobias Harris. Oh, you hate to see it, Chad. He's been so good this playoffs for him, and it is a little bit of them being, you know, kind of in some ways ride or die to Tobias Harris performances. You know, is that good for the Pistons, just as them making a playoff run? You know, maybe we should be a little bit more realistic on the possibilities there. But you hate to see that, you know, 0 for 5, people are going to be like, Tobias Harris ruined the year for Detroit. It's like, you know, maybe. But I guess, you know, like we say, Asar, Dennis Jenkins, you know, there's a couple others. Sasser's 1 for 4. Like, not everybody's, you know, obviously balling out tonight. And again, Cade 5 for 11, hasn't hit a 3. So, you know, has the largest plus, I guess the worst plus minus of anybody on the court tonight, minus 18 for Cade. So definitely struggling a little bit there. Cade, Chad, he should start making movies. Hey, yo. Is that what we're going to say? Cade start making movies? I guess if you score 50 points in a half. I don't know. I don't know if Cade would be the best actor of... I guess in some ways the Pistons were the best actors, right, Chet? Hey, yo, they win 60 games and then do this? I mean, can they score as many points as they won games in the year? Hey, yo. I guess they need 11, so they should probably get there at some point. But Duran just threw it right out of bounds. So, he's like, oh, Angel Reese is watching. Is he getting nervous? I'm not sure. But, I mean, Chat, Angel Reese watches our live streams and we still drop, 40 every night. It is what it is. So obviously it can happen. You can perform. Hey, yo, pause. You can't perform well when she's watching. I don't know, Hey, yo. It is what it is. Shout out, Angel Reese. We know you're in the chat. We're fans. We appreciate your fandom. But what are we saying? I guess Duran with some good defense there. Oh, chat. Wait, what's this? Angel Reese has left the chat. Okay, sorry. We won't mention him again. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I guess are we gonna? Well, we maybe we recast ourselves as Max Strus in this basketball game. Oh, chat. There we go. The NBA. That's how they wanna get the fans involved. They're taking our Netflix idea. They're gonna say you can. But there was, I did just see a clip about that, something about that, where there was supposed to be NBA technology that did put you in the basketball game. The clip that I saw recently of it, I feel like was the first time that I had seen anything about it. So the clip was like, oh, where had this forgotten technology gone from a couple years ago? So I was like, oh, I don't remember it being announced a couple of years ago, really. I mean, I remember when they really started rolling out a lot of the AI stuff and the Vision Pro stuff. It's like, oh, you can be like courts. It's going to look like you're at the games. But then, the technology of like the NBA, you can cast yourself in an NBA game. Hey, yo. I don't even know how to search this. Cast yourself in NBA games technology. Let's see what we get here. For this, NBA is building immersive streaming tech that allows you to scan your body and face using your smartphone, then digitally overlay your avatar directly into live NBA broadcast. You can select a real player on the court, and your avatar will replicate their movements. Hey, yo! And look like you're playing in the game. Chat, this is crazy. This is crazy. Can I mess with the rosters? Can it be like the real? Can it be like I would say the real thing? But like 2K? Can it be like 2K? Can I make this game but then pretend trade that like, oh, look at this, now the Spurs have Giannis. Hey, yo. Like, can we bring AI and make De'Aaron Fox look like Giannis? And I'm like, why can't Giannis get to the rim? He's 6. It's like, oh, you put Giannis and you switched him out with De'Aaron Fox. Maybe you should switch him out with like Luke Cornett. Well, again, we tread lightly. I guess, unfortunately, the Spurs have an interesting looking backup center situation. Kelly Olynyk, Mason Plumlee. Who else do we have over there? Luke Cornett. Hey, yo. We've had some guys. I guess, is Kelly Olynyk still on the team? Hey, yo. We haven't seen Kelly Olynyk in a minute, but he might be long gone. He might be long gone. We just all of a sudden look around and we just like are on the team bus one day. Like, where's Kelly Olynyk? Hey, yo. Like, he hasn't been here in 16 months. But what do we say? How it works, 3D scanning using apps like Polycam or built-in phone scanners. You can walk around a person to capture their 3D and physical dimensions. Whoa! Hey, yo. I guess, the crazy jokes we can make, chat. Hey, yo. We tread lightly. We're a family-friendly show here, but it's all low-hanging fruit, right? Wink, wink. But technology takes a scanned model and seemingly projects. I'm still thinking of the jokes, chat. It is what it is. Hey, yo, I'll move past it. Takes the scanned model and seemingly projects it over to matching the player's real-time athletic movements, whether it's a dunk pass or a three-pointer. I would like to see what it would look like if I could dunk, chat. That would be cool. But maybe I'd be bummed out. I'm like, why can't? Because I look at the basket sometimes. I'm like, really? I can't jump that high? I'm pathetic. Hey, yo. I mean, it's like right there, chat. It's like right there. I mean, a person 6 foot tall. That's half the battle. Hey, yo. I can't just get the other halfway up. I mean, what's going on here? I mean, it's just right there. I mean, there'll be times when you're like walking in a building and there's like a ceiling's like 20 foot. You're like, maybe I can get up and get that. I mean, maybe not 20 foot, but like 12 foot. You're like, I don't know, I could brush just the bottom of that ceiling right there. And then it's like, I can't even not get close, but dunking. And dunking is different than, like, I can jump up and barely brush the rim with the tops of my fingers. Like, you know, that's obviously dunking. You probably need to get, you know, Ayo, back to the jokes, Chad, another 6-7 inches to be able to dunk just from that, because you have to be able to, you know, grip the basketball as well, but then get it up over the rim, and then, you know, you're also, you know, and then the next step is, you know, just the ability to just dunk, you know, I guess obviously standing up as well too. A standing dunk would be crazy. I mean, I don't expect myself to do that, Ayo. But a sort of off-platform dunk situation where you don't have to be like, okay, you know, let me line up the steps, do the 1, 2, 3, maybe, because there's like a version of it where like, okay, I can only travel to like do a dunk, like I can only do the dunk in the layup line, but you know, it's like, okay, I want to be at least maybe not dunk on anybody, but you know, drive through the paint and just if the opening's there, throw it down. You know, I mean, is that too much to ask for, chat? Hey, yo, I feel like you know, how much do I have to be able to squat to get to that level? Hey, yo. But, I mean, ChatGPT, how much do I have to squat to be able to dunk? I've never asked it that before. Oh, chat, the journey starts. The journey, do we ask it now? Hey, yo, let's see what we get. I guess we don't just Google it. I guess we could just Google it and see how much do you have to squat to dunk. Here we go. I guess we might not be the first ones. There's no, I would say, there probably is not a certain number because, like, what you know, Durant couldn't bench 185, right? So you know, how much can Durant squat 2 plates? I don't think Durant squats at all, to be honest. He might do some leg press, maybe some split squat. I bet he does some split squat for sure. And then maybe, you know, maybe some goblet squat. I don't know, get you know, some dumbbell squat situation. But I doubt Durant's throwing the barbell on his back. Hey, yo. But you can tell, chat, those shoulders have never seen a barbell a day in their life. But what are we saying? Strength serves. Hey, yo, Durant, call it and defend yourself. But strength serves as the ceiling for as the ceiling for your vertical jump to dunk. Your relative strength matters most because you have to propel your body into the air. If you weigh 150 pounds, your target squat is 125. If you weigh 180, 270. So I guess it did say up here earlier. However, I guess just to pick up in the middle of a sentence. However, as a general strength baseline, strength coaches and elite dunkers recommend that you have to be able to back squat. Whoa, pause. 1.25 times your weight. Hey, yo, maybe it has been a minute since we've actually tried to go out and throw down a dunk, Chad. Hey, and I mean, this is also not a hot take, but you do also have to be training to jump as well too. Like, I guess if you have to train to dunk. Obviously, if you don't have to train to dunk, then you don't really have to do squats as well too. Again, there's just that you just have the vertical, you know, the vertical leap ability. Hey, yo. But because I feel like we could train to get there. We could definitely train to get there. Like, we're not so far away that it's so close. Hey, yo. It's so close, but it does have to be a situation where we're actually jumping as well too. Hey, yo, hot take. Look, if you want to be good at a movement, you have to do the movement. Like, you know, there is, if we're doing the workout sense, like there is the, you know, like, oh, if you just do push-ups a lot, and then some guy will be able to do like 1,000 push-ups. It's like I haven't bench pressed in 10 years, and then you know, he just does like 5 plates because all he does is push-ups. It's like, okay, I guess there is, again, some strength correlation between some of those things. But if you wanna be really good at, now we're just a YouTube bro science guy, but you know, if you want to be good at bench press, my hot take is, you know, train the bench press movement. Like, that's obviously, you know, a REMINGTOM training corner here. But it's just like, you know, you're gonna some of the stuff is a skill as well as it is, you know, a strength. So dunking can be that. Like, dunking can be a skill, again, for a certain section of the dunkers. Hey, yo. Like, dunking can be a skill as well as just a strength. But I feel like we have to get it. I feel like we do have a window, though, obviously. Like, are we going to throw down our first dunk? Yes, we might have to DM Rosillo. Hey, Rosillo, how old? Like Rosillo's going to answer our DMs. But, you know, that we have to get an answer. That's the thing. How old were you when you threw down a dunk? He might answer that one, though. Do we do it now, chat? Hey, yo. Hey, yo, we do it live. Do we just... I'm not actually going to... Oh, chat, I already spoiled the bit. I'm not actually going to do it. But I, you know, hey, yo, I need to build up the courage before we actually make ourselves look foolish. How many? 129K on the gram, chat? Never mind. We might ask him. We might ask him. Would he answer? He would answer, right? How old? Is this the SOS cover? Oh, no, this is just some other water. Hey, yo. I was like, Rosillo listening to SOS? I doubt it. But he might. He might. Everybody loves that album, so, wouldn't be surprised. But, judging by some of his takes, maybe not. But, whoa. Hey, yo, what are we saying? We're back to the dunking takes. IT, cut that out. Hey, yo. We might have to ask. How, just as inspiration. But then we don't want it to be the thing where he's like, oh, I dunked the first time at 33, and then we're like, oh, we have so many years to get there. Like, we can relax as well. But I need to know, like, is it possible to throw down your first dunk, in your 30s? Definitely in your 30s. But, like, in your late 30s? Or do you have to get it, do you have to get it before 35? Hey, yo, Chad, I guess I was thinking of another correlation, but I don't know, are we allowed to go there? Maybe we have to make the joke now because we're young and dumb and we can get away with it. But we can't, chat. We can't. Hey yo. It is what it is. But I was just thinking, there are some things, hey yo, check it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know if we're being too censored tonight, but maybe I think we're getting too crazy with our initial thoughts. Is really what it is. Hey yo. I guess Chad, I was gonna correlate it to shout out to the ladies out there. What if we were just speaking on like timelines, like things that you feel like society puts you under pressure, for timelines. It's like what's the the male biology. It's like my dunking biology. Hey yo, like I have to throw down a dunk before a certain year because then I'll never be able to dunk again. Like, hey yo, and you can't freeze your vertical leap. Hey yo, there we go, Chad. We got there. That's not bad. That's not bad. There we go. Hey, yo, we still tread lightly. The room is still getting a little extra hot, though. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like that was a good way to navigate it. That was a good way to navigate it. The Pistons are still down 20, so this is not good. This is not good. I guess we could be Duncan Robinson in the game, for sure. It wouldn't be the most fun version of a player to recast ourselves as, but it would be, it'd be productive, helpful. As well too, and then like we're saying, if we get the can we recast? Can we make the shots for Duncan Robinson? Hey yo, Chad, that's a crazy version of AI. Like the fans are competing for brain implants. Like Duncan Robinson just spazzing out because all the fans are trying to input their opinions. Like they're trying to take over his game. Hey yo, like somebody when they get the chip, and then everybody's got the chip, and then there's like multiple hackers trying to hack into James Harden's chip and try to make him play better. It's like all of a sudden James Harden just collapses. Hey, yo. I guess, whatever the 20... Now we have to do like the sci-fi version instead of timeline to it. But, like the 2126 version, where it's farther down the timeline. Whatever the player equivalents are back in the days. Hopefully that makes sense of what I'm saying. Hey, yo. Everybody's got the AI chips, so you got the hackers are trying to hack into the players' chips to improve their games while they're playing. They're like, oh, the Pistons can't make a three. Let me see if I can upgrade Duncan Robinson's three-point making software live during the game. But then, the hacker spazzes, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Duncan Robinson goes down. Hey, yo. I mean, I guess it's a dark comedy, this movie, but still, I guess, that's the satire, right? I guess it wouldn't be... Nobody's ever made the movie where it's like, oh, they hacked into Duncan Robinson's AI, and it was better for humanity. Hey, yo, he won the game, and it was actually better that the Pistons won. That's a little... That is like... Is the absent-minded professor... The Flubber, the Robin... There's two versions, obviously. Fred McMurray, absent-minded professor, but then Robin Williams remade it as Flubber. But, I mean, shout out. The Fred McMurray one holds up as well, too. I think I have to go back and see. There is a very, very white basketball scene, that's for sure. There are obviously things about movies that aren't going to hold up, about the 50s. But in terms of it being an old movie, the story of the plot, like it's, I feel like it's fine, right? Like he's just a scientist guy, kind of, does he go a little too far going after the guy? Hey, what are we canceling the absent-minded professor? I don't know. But, I think the Robin Williams one is good as well, too. Are we going to throw that on, chat? What did we say we're going to throw on? Turn it up, but instead we're going to throw on Flubber? We might. Hey, we're going to be up all night, but, I mean, shout out. If we're watching Robin Williams movies, I mean, that's not too bad. That has to be on Disney Plus, right? It is. It is. So, I guess, we'll see if we can tap into that one. Christopher McDonald? Is he the bad guy in that? Hey, yo. I didn't know. Is this the best Christopher McDonald movie over Happy Gilmore? Flubber? Hey, yo, the Flubber versus Happy Gilmore versus is the next live stream. We didn't mean to spoil it there, but I guess, hey, yo, that is what it is. Tune in next week for Flubber versus Happy Gilmore. Hey, yo. But Robin Williams versus Adam Sandler? The filmography versus there would be crazy. I think Adam Sandler, or what do we say? I think Robin Williams gets Sandler in terms of the acting ability. Like, Robin Williams literally did win an Oscar. No disrespect to Adam Sandler. Like, he has gotten better over the course of his career in some ways. Maybe a little regression in Happy Gilmore, too. I'm not sure. But, you know, like the Uncut Gems hustle sort of run where he was starting to lean into some of the dramatic... Like Uncut Gems, you know, he's good in that for sure. He didn't get nominated for Uncut Gems. Maybe, did he get like a Golden Globe nom or something like that? I don't think so. But, you know, again, Robin Williams, I think, is the better actor than Sandler. But I mean, Robin Williams does have his run of, and I guess I'm thinking specifically of Hook and Flubber, but you know, those two are basically Sandler movies where they're like not critically acclaimed at all, but just like the perfect, you know, family throw it on, everybody can watch it type of movie. You know, it ages, you know, or, you know, any age can watch it, enjoy it, type of thing. But you know, he also again does have the better collection of prestige movies as well too. So I guess the verses would get a little interesting. Like, is Just Go With It versus, you know, Good Will Hunting? Hey, yo, I feel like Robin Williams is gonna have some movies where, you know, again because the other thing would have been obviously Sandler's creation of the movies. Like, Sandler was more directly involved in the production of the movies than Robin Williams was for a lot of them, obviously. You know, again, Robin Williams was seeking out more prestigious, like working with filmmakers. And, you know, like let's just say experienced filmmakers like Damon and Affleck in the 90s. You know, obviously they were young guys when he took the risk there, I guess, in some ways. But, you know, for the most part, he was, you know, pursuing other people's creative stuff. Not say other people, you know, hey, yo, that's you know, that's satire in a couple ways, chat. Hey, yo, shout out to the great Robin Williams. Whoa. Hey, yo. I guess if you know, you know. I mean, but he was, you know, don't be mad because Robin Williams was funnier with your material than you were. Hey, yo. I mean, make no mistake. If somebody just gave him the transcript of everything that you know, again, rest in peace, Robin Williams. But it's like, if Robin Williams was alive and somebody just gave him the transcript of everything that we said here, and he said it word for word, he would be funnier. He would say it funnier. I mean, I guess maybe, you know, Robin Williams' use of the English language is probably just funnier as well too. So just again, the way that he would construct the thoughts would just be better. But you know, again, we couldn't even be mad. You can't even be mad. Robin Williams just, you know, elite. It is what it is. But you know, again, the Robin Williams versus Adam Sandler versus chat up next. Hey, yo, that would be a good one though. That would be a good one. Though I guess again, you know, we kind of do. It would be good because we got to give Robin Williams the dub. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But I guess, you know, we'll figure out what our dunking target, squat target situation is. What does it say? Now, why squats aren't everything? Natural athleticism. Oh, chat, you hate to see that's the first reason up. But many natural springy jumpers can dunk without ever lifting weights. I think that would be most, like, real dunkers, obviously. Again, are we ever going to posterize somebody? It would have to be a small person. Hey, yo, I didn't mean that, chat. I didn't mean that. I just meant obviously not like a 6.5 foot guy. You know, it just would have to be a person that was, you know, not jumping up that high, essentially. Like, if I don't think I'd ever be able to posterize a contested dunk. Is all I meant to say. Hey, yo. You know, somebody kind of going for the block or charge situation. Somebody just kind of arms up under the basket. Maybe not fully, you know, standing too far up as well too, where we're not like having to jump over them, you know, or somebody like flying in last second where it's more like they end getting dunked on but didn't really start getting dunked on, if that makes sense. But also it says velocity versus strength. Deep and slow squats build maximum force, but jumping requires you to exert that force in a fraction of a second. So we need to do like faster squats. Do we need to actually just start jumping at the top of the squat? That could be the next evolution there, because I do definitely focus squat corner pause, focus on a slow, again, we got to be careful with the language, but, a slow, full range of motion squat is, the goal for sure. A good technique. Because I did hear that as advice once. Somebody said technique. As I'm saying it, you're like, is this good advice? I don't know, but technique builds muscle versus whatever else he was saying. I mean, and also, abs are made in the kitchen. I guess what's the wall? What's the memento tattoos of we just have of bodybuilding? Hey, Chad, abs are built in the kitchen is definitely the main one that you just hear out there. I guess what's the other cliche? That's the number one overall draft pick for sure. But yeah, either way, maybe we do need to add a jump into the top of the squat. Again, the obviously would be different instead of like a max squat situation. But like we said earlier, if you want to train to jump, you actually have to, maybe we hybrid, maybe we do both. Maybe we do like 2 sets of max squats and then 2 sets of jump squats as well. Because I did see Saquon Barkley do this workout once, and I debated putting this into the workout because sometimes, especially in like a little bit of a smaller gym situation, you don't like, it's more just like the simple lifts on the benches and by the machines more so than like, full athletic workouts, if that makes sense. Now there are gyms in town here where there is one that I'm thinking of that does have like a turf sled situation that, that was fun to use back in the day. I don't have membership to that one anymore, but get out there like a defense, like Myles Garrett pushing the sled around. I guess, if we stack up like the 10-pound plates or the 25-pound plates, then maybe it would look like a Myles. Obviously, it wouldn't look, but maybe it would have as many plates, quote unquote, as like a Myles Garrett sled. But obviously not the same situation. But again, it's like a smaller gym. It's not built for just like a full-on athletic workout. But this one that I did see Saquon do, this one movement was, he did a split squat, and then he would do he would do like 5 or 6 reps for each leg, and then he would drop. With a dumbbell, obviously, and then he would drop the dumbbell after a set for both legs, and then do like an explosive jumping version of the split squat. Do we have to do a demonstration? But I mean, you can imagine it. It's a split squat, but just do an explosive jump at the top of it. Again, you could. And that's the tough part as well, too, is keeping yourself honest with, being explosive with the movement as well, because you can do a sort of, a slower repped out version of it as well. And just, okay, I did the 6 extra quote unquote jumping reps. But, again, if you actually, get like a good explosive movement, and Saquon's vertical on those as well, too. He's like really flying up off the ground. We're not even to that point. We're like, okay, if our vertical looks like that on those, not the weighted version, but the unweighted version of the jump. If our jump looks like that, on the drop set of a weighted split squat, then I think we would actually be able to dunk. So maybe we also just need to be, this is a check chat. We need to be more explosive in our Bulgarian split squat movements, and we need to start adding a jump at the top. Maybe we just go like the plates in a 25 or something, and just just like to at least like get the toes off the ground, if that makes sense. The heels anyways. I feel like just a squat with like a calf raise at the top, would still at least be the start of training that. So I mean, we'll get back to you. We're gonna figure out how to we'll unlock the dunking workout, chat. We'll have to do if you want to translate your gym strength to actual on-court hoops, you need to combine heavy lifting with specific jump training. Okay. We're, I feel like, locked in there. It says, polymetrics focus on deep jumps, box jumps, jumping metrics, practice jumping with a basketball, throwing perfect lobs to yourself. Oh, for sure. Working hip flexors, work on strengthening your glutes, calves, and core. I guess if we just have to get a big butt to dunk, chat, then I guess that's what we have to do. Hey, yo. It is what it is. How big does my butt have to be before I can dunk? Hey, yo. What size butt do I have to be able to dunk? Hey, yo, are there? I mean, I hate to sound so innocent, but I feel like this is a legit question. Are there? I mean, I'm talking in like a marketing sense. Is there butt sizes the way that there is like, other sizes as well? I guess there is only like, there is only one thing that kind of diverges from the sort of small, you know, AO pause, the small, medium, large sizing of clothing, obviously. But is there like a, I guess, I don't know. You know, how is, I feel like it's just, you know, most butt clothing is just size small, medium, and large. You know, there's not like an extra label. There's not like an A butt, a B butt, a D. They need to start labeling it that way though, Chad. I don't know if that'd be offensive, but you know, like, hey yo, do you have these shorts in an A butt? That would be funny, Chad. That would be funny. But yeah, I think we've unlocked a lot of marketing techniques here so far. Hey yo, I feel like, well, I guess, you know, we're not gonna stand up and reveal our you know, do we have a C butt, chat? Hey yo, everybody adds one extra letter to their butt size. It is what it is. You know, you can never trust anybody these days. Hey yo, how are butts to size? Can we even look this up, chat? This is crazy. I thought we said we were family friendly. Butts are, everybody's got a butt, but that's a kid's book, right? I feel like, or everybody poops. Everybody poops is a kid's book, so I feel like talking about butt sizes is not, you know, I feel like if we, you know, if we use other grammar, then then maybe. But wait, how hey yo, should I mute the screen real quick when I look this up? No, right? Hey yo, how are on the work computer, chat, butts sized? Hey yo, does that even make sense? I guess. Oh, H-shaped butt. Okay, so okay, there is. I mean, there is something, but I don't think, like, you know, you go to the store and like, do you have the H? Do you have this in an H butt? Hey yo, maybe you do though. Maybe you do. I don't know. Again, I would say at least for guys, you know, you don't, you know, but you know, again, it's not that way for. But I guess guys wouldn't have ayo pause. I guess, you know, ayo, but it's not like there's a, you know, a shirt equivalent, like we're saying, of like a. Do you have this shirt in like a cup, or a, you know, like you know, I'm. Like if our bench press gets really crazy, and we're like, I'm still in a small, but I need the torso to be more of a, you know, more of a C cup. Hey yo, a D cup or whatever, you know. Hey, what are we really working toward with this bench press? Hey yo, but do we need to go to break, chat? Hey yo, what are we a basketball pod? I think we are. Do we have basketball stuff going on? I mean, the Pistons are down by 20, so not really. But we do have a good series tomorrow with Spurs Thunder. Hey yo. And I guess, you know, more potential Iceman reactions as well, too. We have a lot to say about Iceman. It is what it is. We're going to be reacting to it. But it's just Iceman week on the pod. I mean, it might be unofficially just because we're going to be pondering it all week. Chet, it's a thinker. It is a thinker, I tell you. That is for sure. So we're going to have to maybe think about it a little bit more during break. And we'll be back. We got, I guess, you know, more hanging out to do right after this. All right, chat, we are back, and it looks like the Pistons are going home. So basically the question at this point is, will they start a fight in the fourth quarter? I think the starters are still out there. Hey, yo, you don't want to ask that question going into the fourth quarter of Game 7. And at least for James Harden, it's good to be on this side of that, though, because the Philly versus Boston situation, I think, was that the last time he was in a Game 7? To be honest, that was the most interested, I think, of anything that I was of. I think that's one of the most interesting things I've been in of this playoffs. It's just, James Harden on the Cavs. Hey, yo. But, and make no mistake, it hasn't really been that interesting, which is maybe why it's not necessarily been interesting. But it's like, is there something potentially here, for him to have like a last second, do you say like Chris Paul sort of finals run with him? But obviously with them being in the Eastern Conference Finals now, looking at what is going to look like this potential win result here. Sam Merrill now with the steal. Is he going to get a dunk? Oh, no. Oh, Chet! He gets the layup over Cade and Duran. Merrill can't be stopped. The Cavs are up by 30. Hey, yo. It is what it is. Does this remind us a little bit of the Kendrick Drake battle? Okay, chat, we have to stop. We have to stop. We have to give the man his credit. And I guess if we were going to, talk about how the album has sat after spinning it a couple times here. I'm actually not going to lie. I haven't really sat down and listened to it start to finish, like, in a, a focused or at least, semi-focused listen in some way. I guess, like, I would consider the gym a focused listen, though, again, like, you're not obviously just sitting down to listen to the album only. But, if you're driving around as well, too, I would consider that a focused listen. Hey, yo, it's just like, if you're going to throw the album on and obviously, be concentrated on something else mainly, like work or something, then, that I think is a little bit of a different thing, because you can kind of, lose attention of that a little bit, or at least you should, if you're going to, if it's important what you're focusing on. But either way, that's why lo-fi beats, let me throw on music that I won't pay attention to. But, hey, yo, that's why I can't do it, Chad. I'm not a lo-fi beatsman. But what are we saying? For I guess lo-fi beats or the Iceman album. I'm still taking the Iceman album. It's not worse than lo-fi beats, though. It sounds like some people are saying that it is. Hey, yo. Again, obviously controversial. Obviously, every album that he's dropped in the 2020s, basically since Dark Lane demo tape, has been controversial. Even Her Loss, I would say, like, was it? I guess Her Loss was pretty. I guess it did get nominated, but I'm trying to think, like, On the Streets, is Her Loss as, like, well received? Again, I don't think anything is gonna, can anybody's 13th album be an instant classic? Like, really the only examples we've had of that is Nas and Jay-Z. And I was thinking about Drake in context of those guys as well too, because hey, yo, obviously all-time greats for sure. Drake is still one of them, but we did have that Nas run, and we're still getting the Nas run, but for Jay-Z a little bit as well too, where their careers did have a little bit of a I guess a dip down. Like, I don't know if Jay-Z ever did he ever drop an Iceman? He didn't drop a Maid of Honor and a Beatty as well too. Like, that is for sure. Like, I don't we might have to go back and visit some of those Nas projects, because some of them just get more just kind of lost to time more so than again, are they bad as well too? Again, is it just Nas has so many albums out at this point that there's just other things to go to? So again, I don't even know some of the names of these albums that I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of like Hip Hop Is Dead or Life Is, because there are songs off of those obviously that are really, really good. Those are good projects for sure. But is there there's like a self-titled as well? There's Nasir in 2018. That's pretty good. That's the Good Friday album. What's it? Oh, Distant Relatives is what I'm thinking of. Hey, yo, shout out. I mean, we may have to go back and revisit that one. And then he's got Nas in 2007. Street Disciples in 2004 as well. QB to Compton Ringtones, Nas in the Game, 2002. The Lost Tapes in 2002. So Nas's career is a little bit different. He was having those albums in the midst of like his run as well too. You would say that, I guess in some ways, Drake's consistency, early on, at least through the first 7 or 8, was probably obviously a little bit better. But we did obviously again see Nas, with Hit Boy later in his career sort of bulk up the discography in a different way and have that resurgence with the King's Disease projects and with the Magic projects. And we saw Jay-Z with 444, drop a major album, and even Watch the Thrones as well too. Like was a major, project at the end of, later on in his career. I'm trying to think, is that the last 2 albums like on his Spotify as well? And like we were talking about Kingdom Come as well too, if we're just talking about, albums being received in the moment. Like, of course, again, maybe that one wasn't, the blueprint. But, Magna Carta as well, too. I guess, did Magna Carta get nominated? Magna Carta's good, for sure. Again, I don't know if that gets, put up there with Watch the Throne. But, Blueprint, the Blueprint 3 is good. I mean, he's got major hits on the Blueprint 3. You can't say that that's a bad album. But, again, there was that little bit of a dip down in Kingdom Come. But regardless, again, he was able to still bounce back and just keep dropping classic projects later on. So I don't know if this is, again, is this the part of me that is, I guess, the, again, like I said, there's always going to be that Drake fan part of the music fandom. So I don't know if that part is like, hey, he'll, someday he'll drop another classic. Like, again, it really is more so a special thing that Nas was able to do something like that, where he dropped the King's Disease. Again, is that like Steph Curry's 2022 title or LeBron's 2020 title? Where it's like, what? Not every guy is going to win a title in his late 30s and really, extra solidify their career like that. I guess Duncan did, again, the great guys do in some ways. But, like, is Giannis going to get another ring? Like, again, that's not a guarantee. But we do have precedent that obviously, a guy could have that great later. Dirk as well, too, again, like, got his first one. And like we've said before, like, because of the way that Dirk finals went, like, it did, at least going forward, like, put a different lens on the way that some of these, but some of these careers are viewed, where it's like, again, it is a special, historic, one-of-one thing that Dirk did that, but it's like, okay, we have seen somebody, totally revamp their career with one season, when we thought that really wasn't going to be a possibility anymore. So, I'm never, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is, for a musical artist, I'm never going to say that a musical artist is washed. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. I'm never going to, I guess never. Like, it's going to be difficult for me to say that, again, Drake is washed. Because, like I'm saying, we saw Nas take his career to another, it's not even that he was washed and then all of a sudden, like, oh, now he's not washed more. But we saw him take his career to another level. We saw Jay-Z, like we're saying, take his career to another level later on, show a different side of what he was doing artist. Like, here's even another, at 13 albums in, somehow he's giving another evolution. And again, is Drake artistically Jay-Z? Like, again, obviously, maybe the comparison is, obviously, we're just comparing, again, the legacy great guys as well, too. But, or, even, I guess, can we put, like, Death of Slim Shady in this conversation? I feel like we can, a little bit. Like, Death of Slim, I don't know if Death of Slim Shady is like, Eminem fans are going to be buying that one off the shelves in 20 years from now. Like, there's definitely some good hits off of that, and that was a fun rollout in the moment, and I think it was a quality enough project that we were like, yes, this was a great event. Like, Death of Slim Shady was a great, again, I guess, Killing Off Slim Shady was a great event, but, again, the album experience that he was able to provide us in that moment was, like we're like going to the movies for a weekend or something like that. Again, it's not like we're saying instant classic. I guess it did get nominated for a Grammy, so hey, maybe it was an instant classic. But more so of like that when you go back and look at movies and you're like, oh, every weekend we were just dropping movies. That's like in that run where you're like, oh, every week we're just getting good music, and that's a fun weekend listening to Eminem and just getting a new Eminem album that is got some good songs on it. And I was going to say, like, the Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg album, Missionary. Hey, I don't know if the community would necessarily say that that's, like, them, revisiting their primes later in their career. But I love that album. I think there's good songs on that album. So, to me, again, I think that if Drake is going to be if Drake's always going to, in some ways, always going to be dropping music, again, maybe there is an official retirement at some point for him as an artist. But maybe, again, we're seeing it now. Like, obviously, the legends that we've lost that haven't been able to make music, unfortunately, again, rest in peace to, obviously, so many names, so many great names. But outside of, again, Jay-Z making these incredible business moves. Like Jay-Z is like the rapper that like retire. When the SNL cast member has to leave SNL to go be a movie star. It's like, okay, yes, Eddie Murphy obviously has to leave SNL. Like, he's gonna make too much money as the biggest. He's literally gonna be the biggest movie star in the world. Like, Jay-Z is, the best businessman in rap. So I guess you can still obviously make an album and be a businessman, but he is very, very successful in that. So it's like, yes, you kind of have to pursue that. If, again, I guess the money is what you're pursuing. But, again, obviously he has dropped 13 albums. You can't say that Jay-Z is like, not focused on his artistry. Hey, yo, chat, the baseball game we were watching just switched over. Peacock is trying to play us some original content. What's going on here? What is this show? Hey, yo, it's definitely, MIA. I feel like this is definitely replayed after. This has definitely been played after a couple of basketball games. Hey, yo, I guess I haven't seen the very, 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 very beginning of it, but I have definitely clicked up and been like, what is this? I'm like, MIA. So they're definitely trying, chat, but they haven't got me yet. Is that it for the sports night on Peacock? Hey, yo. I guess we could, the WNBA hub. It's like, is there a WNBA game? I think that's it. I guess to the ESPN we go, chat. Throw on a little sports center in the background. But what are we saying for? Again, I'm always gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and he's always gonna be at the top of the list again for guys that we go back to. I don't know if he is, again, is he top 3, top 4? Like, we're not necessarily saying that, but he's gonna be on the short list of 20 guys that are just gonna make up the main list of your rotation. And he's gonna be one of those, again, 15 to 20 guys that kind of, no matter where his career is at, I'm going to listen to his music. So, again, am I always going to be adding songs to the playlist? Am I always going to be, giving him the benefit of the doubt with the projects? Whatever. Hey, yo, again, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, we're just, I guess, not sitting here saying I'm looking to criticize him with the music that he drops. But, because like I'm saying, I literally am going to, commit to listening at this point. Like, I just know that I am. And I guess, like, obviously we're checking out every new release just because we like doing that as well, too. So there's just going to be that factor of it that's like, new mainstream music or an old legend at some point. Obviously, hey, like, I'm thinking like 20 years from now, 15 years from now, 10 years, the timeline's moving up. But, even 7-8 years from now, like if Drake has moved into a different point of his career and, I guess we're not going to write Kendrick off, obviously, but you could even see Kendrick and Cole being in different points of their careers. Again, 8 years from now. I mean, where were we at 8 years ago was, I guess, 2018. So, Kendrick was just, 2018, a couple years off of T-Pap, like, and then Drake, Scorpion. I mean, Cole hadn't even, what did he have at that point? Was is it Deja? Does he have an album called Deja Vu? No, it's a song called Deja Vu. What's that album called? For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only. Was For Your Eyes Only out in 2018? Maybe late 2018, 2016, maybe? Maybe that was 2016. KOD would have been 2018. So KOD and Kendrick dropping Humble as well, too, a year before that. So, just the evolutions that their careers have made that over that course. Like, again, I'm not saying that they're going to be worse off as artists or even less popular or whatever. Again, Eminem and Kanye and these guys that, maybe aren't dropping music the same way now are still as popular because of the catalogs and the streaming the way they are. There'll always be those mainstays. But, I am curious how this album is going to age in our rotation. And I know we said this last time for All the Dogs, a couple of years ago. Hey, yo. But I do know... I'm a little bit more confident on how I felt in that album at the beginning, and that maybe I was a little bit more, again, maybe going back, honestly trying to evaluate how I felt about it in the moment, because I know that we did the review about it, but for the initial reception, I do think maybe I was a little bit more swayed by the public reception and it being, not that instant classic. And like I said, that album for me, in his rotation, for his catalog, has been one of the albums that I mainly went back to. I have been throwing on, if you're reading this, it's too late a lot lately. Ayo, again, is it a hot take to say you're going back to any Drake album? But that is one that we might have to mention now. Is that the actual Mount Rushmore for us now, maybe, to complete the top 4? If we're going Take Care, Views, if you're reading this, is too late, and For All the Dogs, hey, yo, that might be it. I mean, her loss, it's a little bit of a different thing because it's a collab album. I mean, I would love that vinyl, though, as well, too. Like, that would be a must-have. Those would be the 5 must-haves for me. I don't know. Some Sexy Songs for You is just a cool-looking cover, so I almost just want to get the cover as well, too. It is very, very cool. So, maybe is there 6 must-have covers? I don't know about that. But, the 5 must-have albums maybe would, again, for me, would be those. Obviously, Nothing Was the Same. I guess So Far Gone, maybe just for the nostalgia of it as well, too. So 6, again, obviously he's got a, like we're saying, a classic catalog. But this one, and it's good as well, too. Again, it's good. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bad album. And as time goes on, I'm sure, again, because I revisit Drake's music, I'm going to revisit that music just for even the variety. At some point, it's like, well, let me listen to a new song. Oh, it's just a new Drake song. Let me listen to a new song. Oh, I'm just going back to a different Kendrick song. Oh, I'm just going to, again, it's just different music within the artist that I guess I like at some point. But still, even within the mix-up of those artists, like, I'm going to go back to certain songs on this album. I know that already. But in terms of, like, is this something that I want to put on and just spin it from start to finish the entire time? I don't know exactly yet. Again, like I said, and I'm mentioning that as well, too, a lot because it is his last solo album that he dropped. Again, Some Sexy Songs for You was that collab album with Party Next Door. So that's why I'm just, referencing that one specifically quite a bit. But I do think that is an album that, again, you can just legit go press play and listen to basically every song on that. And again, at this point, like I'm saying, I've definitely, had some of the songs, I don't know, but in the moment as well, too, I was like, okay, I remember in the moment, I was like, I initially, really, really like 15 songs off of this album. And again, it was a lot of songs. What was the first version of that? Oh, wait, 23 songs on the first version of the album. And then when he dropped the Scary Hours edition, it went to 29 songs. So an hour 48 on the Scary Hours edition. And I got to be honest, like if I had to choose, I would take the Scary Hours edition as well, too, because I do kind of like the cover as well. But like I'm saying, but I mean, it's also disc 2 is a great ad. Red Button, Stories About My Brother, The Shoe Fits, Wick Man, Evil Ways, and You Broke My Heart. Like, he went 6 for 6 on disc 2. It is what it is. And initially, I'm trying to think, what did I have to... I guess Screw the World Interlude, I guess I don't have saved in a playlist. I need to re-listen to Members Only, because I don't have that one saved in a playlist. Gently with Bad Bunny, I guess I don't necessarily have that one saved. And then Another Late Night as well, too. So, at this point, I basically almost added everything in. But, again, I was like, there are, 15, 20... There are like 12, 15, 20, like 15 tracks that stood out on first listen that were, like, immediate playlist ads. So it's like, okay, just because maybe it's not the instant classic, okay, Drake, like I'm saying, in the moment, did he go 23 for 23? Hey, yo. But I was like, if you're dropping 15 songs that I like on a project, like, I have to consider it a good album. Like, hey, yo, like, this is what I would say about the Playboi Carti music album. Like, again, and there is also the conversation of, like, these, the playlistification of albums in some ways, where it's just drop a bunch of music and let people, make their own versions of the album, let the people pull out the songs for their playlists. But it's like that, Playboi Carti drops 30 songs on music, and if he's given me 15 songs that I like, if there's 12 to 15 songs in here that I like, then I guess it's a good album. Again, in the all-time rankings, does that mean I'm saying it's, I Am Music right up there with Ready to Die? Hey, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying for what I'm listening to on Spotify, for what's in the rotation, if we're talking about the modern conversation or whatever, like, it's a good project. He dropped a classic project. He dropped a good project, and I have to give it its credit for what it is. Like, that's too many songs for me not to like. Again, is it, but there's more songs on there that you don't like? It's like, well, that's still, there's albums that aren't 15 songs. So if you're giving me 15 songs that I like, then you've given me a good album. So, again, now obviously the benefit of I get to playlist it and, I can skip around a little bit easier and the way that we can navigate that. And, if Playboi Carti was dropping music in 94, would he get 30 songs? Would the label allow it? I guess, would they allow Playboi Carti to do it in 94 before Tupac does it in 96? I don't know. But I guess somebody probably did it before Tupac in '96, you know, and obviously it's all moves from before. But either way, you know, again, like I don't know if I have that same initial reaction with Iceman, I guess is my point. Like revisiting again today, like I was like, the production on this is really, really good. And it is, again, an evolution in a way of what he's been doing. I think there is like a lot of the Yeats, and you know, that kind of ragey sound a little bit. Like I think there is some of that influence on here. I feel like he kind of stylized maybe, do I say both of his last albums after some of the Yeat production? I don't know. But, you know, For All the Dogs isn't quite as distorted in some parts, if that makes sense. I'm not even talking about the auto-tune as well. Like, just some of the bass is a little bit cleaner throughout the album, if that makes sense. And, again, just like the melody cuts on the samples are crazy as well, too. And there is just a uniqueness in this that is different for his discography. You know, again, from a sound standpoint, from some of these songs. But I don't know if Iceman has, and again, it's only 18 songs compared to 23, 30. So I guess, you know, the chance for him dropping, like we're saying, 50, I mean, you know, if he drops 13 of 18, like, I'll give him that. And as I was re-listening to it, I was like, okay, the Make Them Cry is good, for sure. Dust, Whisper My Name, like, all the way, like, I'm still a little uncertain on Shebang at this point. Let me see here. Let me run it real quick and see what we got. I'm unsure of it at this point. Was I muted or I guess I don't even know. Hey, I guess if the YouTube bots got us, they got us. It is what it is. But Make 'Em Pay, Burning Bridges. Again, unfortunately, 21 Savage on Bees on the Table, you know, it's not really a song that you have to go back to. What Did I Miss? Plot Twist. Too Hard for the Radio. Again, the beat on that's pretty fun. Make 'Em Remember. I guess we didn't really get to this part as well, too. I was kind of running it right before this, but you know, Firm Friends and Make Them Know, I think are pretty good. So what are we thinking initially? Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of 18. If I'm, you know, if I'm saying songs that I like, again, I don't know if I'm passionate, but I don't know if I'm like how interested I am in throwing these into the rotation. Again, I think I will just to. Obviously, just to see, and then see, that's the problem. It's like, you know, am I going to accidentally force myself to like these songs? Like, I don't even know if that's the right way to phrase it. I just don't know how I feel about the album. And again, I feel like with For All the Dogs, I was like, okay, I know that this is quality here, and it was just, I don't even know what songs I was not sold on initially as well, too. I know it's just like the songs that I haven't necessarily had in rotation as much. Like, I've been bumping Amen a little bit more because I have, you know, ayo, I threw this. It sounds like the greatest album of all time compared to Iceman. It is what it is. Hey, yo. But I think that the other thing that really stands out is something that I think he got called out for on For All the Dogs, but unfortunately, I think it takes a little bit of a step back. You know, if it was a step back in his career, you know, it has even gone further. But the artist performance on the track. But I think even if you go some Sexy Songs for You, like, I was listening to him on Small Town Fame, like, just the energy. Oh, I guess this is the Amen track that I have queued up next. Like, this track I haven't been listening to a lot, but, hey, yo, the little piano key. Hey, yo, that's going to be a rotation for a little bit. But, like, his energy on a track like Small Town Fame, he just feels like he's got a little bit more, like, spice on some of these rapping performances. And you can tell that, you know, some of the lyrical stream of consciousness is still there in a way, obviously, on some of these tracks, like Make 'Em Pay and stuff. But just the way he's attacking, hey, yo, I guess I don't know how much we can let it play in the background, but, you know, just the way he's attacking this track is just more passionate. And I do wonder if that initial post-battle energy was, do I say, unfortunately used, you know, again, it seemed like throughout the rollout, and again, he's been moving, you know, this entire time with that in mind and with like a vengeance or whatever. But it does seem like a performance standpoint, especially again, like we're saying, that rapping run on some Sexy Songs for You where he goes Small Town Fame, Brian Steele, and Give Me a Hug. Like, I do wonder if that is like the most we're gonna get of him being that sort of, again, passionate from that. Like that's gonna be the best emotion that we're gonna get from the battle, if that makes sense, from him of these tracks. Because unfortunately, I was just not necessarily too captivated by, and it's not necessarily, again, just like the passion that he has on the tracks. I think it was some of his cadences as well too. He just wasn't giving as, if I could say simply, like as creative flows and cadences as he was. Again, even like I'm saying, comparing it to his last project, like there is things that he is doing on here that are unique. Again, I don't know if it hits for everybody in every song. And, I'm really going to, mention the songs that are controversial, like Calling for You. But I do like the Cash Cobain style production on Calling for You as well. But even the way he's attacking that song is different as well. Like, where's the part where there's a part that I'm thinking of that, and maybe, and sometimes I feel like if I'm ranking it for me, it's production and then artist cadence and then lyrical content. So you're like, hey, yo, well, then why are you a Kendrick fan? Well, it turns out Kendrick is actually, has one of the best beat selection in his, of anybody in rap, and also has some of the best cadences of anybody as well too. But what's this part here on where he's like, I guess, let me pull it up here on the Genius chat and see if we can, because I guess I'm gonna be a little hesitant with it playing in the background just for the copyright standpoint. But again, it's just him being creative, him trying out new cadences and stuff, and he is, leaning into more of the auto-tune stuff as well too. But I feel like there was parts where he was executing it here as well too. Hey yo, again, I feel like this song specifically, I really don't know what he says in this song. I just, where are you? And especially that lyrical sample on the first part is crazy, and then you get that synth that's like, and then the call for you. Hey yo, Chad, again, the beat goes crazy. And then right after the Amen little keys, and then Fear of Heights, Into Daylight, first person shooter mode, IDGFA. GAF, AO, 7969 Santa. I mean, I remember me and Sam both being like, I remember people were hating on this track. We like this track. Hey, yo, it is what it is. 7969. And then some of the singing performances as well, too, like Bahama Promises is, a little bit different as well. He's kind of, like, actually being a little, like, more, it's, there's not really, like, a ton of auto-tune on this, maybe kind of a little on the beginning part, but he's still kind of, giving you a little bit of a different vocal inflection there. Yeah, say to me, it around apologies. Hey yo, and then Tried Our Best, where that's the one that's don 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 don, whoa whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, he wasn't bringing it like that on Iceman. Like, and again, maybe I'm just comparing these two, like, go back and really listen to Take Care, and it's like, whoa, this is actually the greatest album ever. But, again, it felt like at the top of his attacking the song game on here, and he was carrying that over a little bit into some Sexy Songs for You. I just don't think he was, unfortunately, as, mixing it up creative on For the Dogs. Like, he's still, or on Iceman, he still is, like, having some singing performances, like, he's doing some of the rapping stuff as well, too, but it is just all a little bit in the same lane. And, I like I'm saying, I will probably go back to some of the songs for the production, and just because they're fun beats, but in terms of, the actual artist performance on there, this was the one where I was like, unfortunately, because like I'm saying, I'm viewing For All the Dogs, through my own lens, not through the critical lens. I was going back and reading the Pitchfork review, and I was like, who wrote this? Hey, yo, they're a talented writer, but unfortunately, their ears are different than ours. It is what it is. But, what would Pluto do as well, too? I guess if we just skip over the songs that we don't like as well. I haven't listened to this one in a second. Which one's this? Man, it's been a minute. And then 8 a.m. in Charlotte's obviously one of his best lyrical cuts that he's had in a while, and that's really him, just kind of chill, laid back rapping as well. I haven't threw this one on in a minute, but this is I mean, chatting at the bars as well too. Like, hey yo, like again, he still is at the top of his game here. Like I know we didn't give him credit for it in the moment, but hey yo, it is what it is. The money speaking for. Hey, we're getting ahead of ourselves. The money speaking for itself. I call it fortune tell. 5 top from that work in corporate sales. Chinchilla, we skiing down at Courchevel. I'm just skipping words I don't know. Breaking news, they tried to kill him, but the boy prevails. Hey, yo. Preaching to the dogs about wanting more for themselves. It's weighing heavy on my moral scale, knowing they gonna sell another Citizen Kane. They think they order some Wells. Walking Chanel like how you need more Chanel. They got these cats tucking tails on fourth quarter sales. I used to see tears drop over enormous meals. The restaurant clears out faint echoes of Lauryn Hill. Hey, yo. I say we got to talk about us. I feel like Jordan Peele. And, also maybe did he have people writing for him as well, too? Hey, yo, I could tell I'm getting under your skin like an orange peel because your words don't match your actions like a foreign film. Now it's Silence the Lambs like a horror film. Things getting quiet after me stating the obvious. Things getting kinky after 15 years of dominance. That October sky is looking ominous. The money is autonomous. Shout to Oliver North. He out in Rome doing Tirana. The Jeremiah. Hey, yo. Whoa! Hey, yo. Okay, I think we're back and cooking. I guess we probably should. Do we get the 8 a.m. Charlotte lyrics up here in the background as well too, instead of reading them off the Spotify? Hey, yo. I don't even know how much of the song we have left. We really went through quite a bit of it at this point. And again, this is definitely the top of him being a lyricist on this album as well too. Oh, then we got verse 2. Diamonds do the silly dance. I raised up the wine glass, metal detectors beeping, security bypass, numbers go up, someone pull up the line graph. Hey, yo, I see Chetty's cooking here. He's cooking. The days going by, it's like I'm living in a time lapse. Been talking to Adele, like he majored in finance. Shania Twain notepad, I'm making it line dance. You trying to rob me? It's going to feel like you sitting at your favorite restaurant. That's where you dying at. Mob ties, I swear we like a hurt with fine sisters and fine cousins, the family all bad. I'm preaching to the dogs about cleaning the images. I swear I'm like a young TD Jakes to my menaces. Long kiss goodnight PDA for my nemesis. 300 acres PGA on the premises. That's what's really breaking like a verse in. That's what's really bracking like a verse in parenthesis. I mean, chat. I don't know if these were bars that Drake wrote for himself. Again, he definitely wrote the hobbyist lobbyist lines. But I mean, this is great ghostwriting right here. This is great ghostwriting. I mean, he is cooking right here with this performance. I swear I'm preaching to my dogs about cleaning the images. I swear I'm like a young TD Jakes to my menaces. Long kiss goodnight. PDA for my nemesis. 300 acres PGA on the premises. Like a verse in parenthesis. I mean, chat. Hey, yo. In God's hands, be thankful and do for sure. Okay, then verse 3, he goes in. You young boys, take some of that money and set it aside. Not having enough to pay your taxes a federal crime. Now he's J. Cole giving advice like it's 1985. Handle beef so quiet, you think you letting it slide? I mean, are we slipping that bar in there? Pause. Hey, yo. Next thing you know, we tiptoe past enemy lines. Diss me so long ago, we making your memories fly. Conspiracies theories start floating around like the Kennedy guy. I'll probably hold a grudge against you guys till I'm 75. I couldn't relate. We all gotta lay in the bed we make, but that couldn't be Drake. You forced a lot of fake love when real ones stood in your face. That's why you get deserted, like pudding and cake. I got you on a camera bowing down, but footage is safe. Thank God another USB to put in the safe. Thank God at the crib dipping my foot in the lake. I swear that y'all turned me into the villain I couldn't escape. Not saying I'm the best at what I do. I'm just saying that it's me versus whoever want to lose. Obviously, not every bar here aged the best, but it's a cold line. It is what it is. Pick any one of the who's. I got 22s for news crews. Rip the DJ from Houston. We lose screws, helicopters, cops, lights, and news crews. I think that's a Drake line. I think Drake's writing this one here as well, too. News crews. He rhymes for news crews twice. Yes, sir. Yeah, he does. Oh, he says new crews and news crews. So that's definitely a Drake bar as well, too. Did somebody slip in there the loose screws? I'm not sure. Pause. But crying to my daddy. Well, boo-hoo. We did see him say toodaloo in Iceman, so he definitely wrote this one as well, too. You probably heard about the boy. Well, true. Again, chat. Hey, yo. Like, he was still on something on this album. And this was before the beef. This was the album that led into the beef. I mean, you know, you would expect it to, and this is, I guess, the timestamp trilogy as well, too, true. So, you know, he's got to bring it as well, too, with the expectations there. Do we go back and look at Evil Ways? We were looking at this one on the last live stream. But, oh, baby, be honest with yourself. And like we were talking about, you get the, you know, them not having defined verses, but them playing, you know, the verses, you know, pause, playing back and forth off of each other there as well. But, and, you know, obviously J. Cole is cooking on this as well, too. But I got some evil ways, even through the glasses you could see the gaze. To find the way up to the top, did it be a maze? Volkswagen, the way we run it, Beatles plays, and then Cole goes. Wheel of beef, my brother's running through the 6 like the Green Berets, beefing with the block that's 500 feet away. Wheel of Fortune, the way they need a K. Ayo, and again, he's rhyming it. I think he wrote himself here. Like, I think he was writing for himself on For All the Dogs a little bit. I think he was because he rhymed. He said plays here, and then he said, you know, he keeps rhyming. Obviously, you know. Find this way up to the here gonna be amazed, Volkswagen, you know, Wheel of Fortune, so you know, a little Cole inspired there. Cole rhymes his curse words a lot, but what are we saying? Beef with a block that's 500 feet away. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Man, I'm living out Carlito's way. Ain't getting no bread, you in a keto phase. I mean, man, I'm living out Carlito's way. It might be the best bar in Drake's entire career. It is what it is. Is he talking about Rise to Power, or is he talking about the first one? Hey, yo, is he talking about the John Leguizamo, Sean Combs joint, or Sean? I guess a Sean Penn and a Sean Combs both canceled in each Carlito way. It is what it is. But, hey, yo, Pacino chat. I mean, I'm throwing it on tonight. It is what it is. I was going to watch Purple Rain, but I guess it's going to be Carlito's way. It is what it is. Man, I'm living out Carlito's way. I mean, don't we all wish, chat? Hey, yo, don't we all wish we would just be gunned down in front of our lover in the train station? Hey, yo, what a way to go, chat. What a way to go. If there's any way to go, I guess, you know, and being taken out by the next generation as well, too. What does the genie say here? Carlito's Way, 1993 film where Carlito Brigante, a former criminal, attempts to leave his past life behind, but ultimately gets pulled back into it, leading to his downfall. Similarly, Drake announced after releasing For All the Dogs he would take a hiatus to focus on his health, yet 2 months later he dropped Scary Hours edition featuring this song. The line compares him to Carlito, just as Carlito couldn't escape his past, Drake can't. Oh, that's right. This is off. I forgot this was off Scary Hours edition. That was 2 months later, as well too. And he did record And that was part of the reason that he was bringing it on some of those songs as well too, is because I feel like it was getting back at people saying that, you know, Drake was not rapping with the same passion. And he was like, because those 6 tracks are more like, he doesn't drop another, you know, Rich Baby Daddy in those tracks. He's not like let me put a hit on these tracks. Like, he was really like, let me give you 6 rap tracks here and really go for it. And again, he really does as well too. Man, I'm living out Carlito's way. You ain't getting bread, you in a keto phase. Wisdom coming out my mouth like some teething pain. Hey, yo. You know, kind of cold, but my whip used to have seats display where Smack DVDs would play. Zopiclone, baby. I couldn't rest without the sleeping aids. I bet you see the price, you gonna be amazed? Broski didn't do it. He like a piece of art, Judge. He was framed. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. You know, I feel like maybe people have used the frame bar a couple of times, but still, not bad. Feed some jades just to receive a ways. Coke got their nose bleeding like the seats where they see the stage. High up in arenas where they see their faves. A.K.A. me and Drizzy, we the wave. Yeah, we the wave like Christian Combs with the brush in his hands once the grease is laid. Is 360 like the label deal signed to get my people paid. My tickets like a meter made. Next time I get in Rosalia's face, I hope she tell her people we might need some space. I guess maybe he's losing a little bit here, but I think I won't hit him, but like an Indian marriage, it can be arranged. There we go, some of the classic Drake comedy there. Diss me and just may see us on your block like a street parade. At the top playing keep away with the clown, crown, our life's an open book, come and read a page. Drake poured a wife, that's going both ways, she like the queen of spades. I start thinking then Perks is waste. Perks is fake, they weed is lace. Ayo, we can't read. It is what it is. For thinking it's a game, if it's a game, these streets would be Bushido's blade. Razor to his face, he ain't need a shave. I mean, I'm with Drizzy in Atlanta, so many hitters, they could beat a Braves. Young Angel going through his demon phase. Hard to blame him, Lord knows the game can beat a brave. Scary hours undefeated, y'all should be afraid. Ayo, obviously J. Cole carrying out the end there as well. But still, both of them very cold on that. And again, Drake definitely carrying his own as well too. You know, first person shooter mode, people were like, oh, Drake, or you know, J. Cole got Drake on that one. I mean, he does a little bit, but even still, you know, the second half of first person shooter mode, it's painful to look up, chat. Hey, yo, it's painful to go back and see, just because, I mean, this song is, like we're saying, a great song as well, too. I mean, it's great, the song. Is it better than the songs that we got? I mean, would we take away the songs that we got to, you know, love this song more? I mean, honestly, no. You know, not even close. But I guess just in the timeline of it, you know, R.I.P. It's obviously a tough song to lose. Big as a what? Big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's 2 guys playing something in the studio. They send it verses back to me, but they're terrible just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with the fine women when they start debating about who the GOAT. I'm like, go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Hey, so again, Drake, we know he's writing for himself here as well, too. Like a kid who whacked bad from January to November. It's just you and Cole? Hey, yo. See, chat? Just him and Cole, because that's all you get for Christmas when you're bad from January to December. I guess, hey, yo, we'll see if Iceman gets Drake a present for Christmas this year. Hey, yo, maybe the back catalog will. But, what do you say? I clicked the trigger on the stick like a high beam, man. The Bentley wheel whipping when I was 19. I got to remember the part, too. He's like, hey, I'm about to click on it. I'm about to click. I'm about to click on it. I'm about to click. I'm about to click trigger on a high beam. Man, I was Bentley wheel whipping when I was 19. She called my number, leave her hanging. She got dry clean. She got her Android. Her messages is lime green. I search her name. I end up seeing 20 tings. Nadine, Christine, Justine, Kathleen, Charlene, Pauline, Claudine. Again, Drake writing for himself. Who else would rap 16 times? Hey, yo. I mean, but it's still fun, chat. Again, he still feels like he's still creatively bringing something new. Again, has he ever rapped a name, all these names before? I guess it's a little like the Certified Lover Boy cover brought to life. You know? Nadine, Christine, Justine, Kathleen, Charlene, Pauline, Claudine. Man, I pack him in his phone like some sardines, and they send me naked pictures. It's the small things. Hey, yo. Youngins richer than you rappers, and they all stream. I really hate that you've been selling them some false dreams. Man, if your pub was up for sale, I'd buy the whole thing. Will they ever give me flowers? Well, of course not. And they don't want to have a talk because it's a sore spot. They know the one they gonna boycott. Told Jimmy Jam I use a Grammy as a doorstop. Girl, give me hair 'cause I need it. And then after I might eat it. What? Hey, yo, that's part of the bars. What? What's that? He says, what the? I want away from Michael. Hey, yo, I forget what was that exactly in reference to? Albums going number one? What does it say here? Did Some Sexy Songs for You go number one as well? On Billboard's most number one songs, on how at the time of the song's release, sat in 5th place with a total of 12 number one hits. In 4th place with only one more hit, sat the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. Of course, with Beat It, Drake references here one of Michael's most popular songs, which is Billboard's number one in 1983. In Billboard's prestigious top 10, Drake is the only rapper, therefore Drake doesn't feel like his legacy is going to be repeated anytime soon. And he has the accolades to back that up. So, I guess it doesn't confirm whether or not he has made it since then. I guess it would have been, has he had a number one hit since then? Has he? Did Nokia go number one? I don't know if Nokia did. Was Nokia a number one hit? Let's see what we got here. I think it might have peaked at number 2. Hey, oh, it did reach number 1 on the Billboard Rhythmic. Oh, here we go. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Chat, Michael, that's why he cursed himself, chat. People think it was the Kendrick battle. It's because he was attacking the Michael legacy. Ever since he's started attacking Michael's legacy, he's been, I guess, he's always been saying himself as the greatest, but now he's talking about, one away from Michael. Hey, yo, you know who should beat it? Drake! Hey, yo. It is what it is. But it did reach number 1, I guess, Spotify, Apple, and the global charts. So Drake, more number 1 Spotify hits than Michael, but I don't even know if, we have to double check that, make sure that's true. But it probably has to be at some point. But I mean, and again, just this song being that mix of, or the album being the mix of, some cuts and some rap cuts and some hits as well too. I guess some of the slower ones, like we're saying, Bahama Promises, Tried Our Best, are more like, R&B, like alt R&B type of attempts. But Fear of Heights and Daylight as well too. Like he's rapping on these as well. You got the Tony Montana, couple Tony Montana references. You get the Scarface sample at the beginning, the Carlito's Way reference at the end. Treat all my exes like Jehovah's. I guess. Hey yo, again, we have to remember how the beat. For as much as we listen to it, we're saying we don't even remember how the beats go. Hey yo, it is what it is. There's a lot of music out there, chat. It is what it is. And plus, the only music that really sticks with you, like a long time, is like the music you listen to for like the first 10 years of your music listening to life. Then everything after that, you're like, I have to actually cue it up and hear it, and then I know what I'm talking about. Plus, this is also, I think, a piano situation. I still have the Amen stuck in my head, and then you got the Tony Montana sample. I got that stuck in my head as well too. Pause. Y'all a bunch of. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say that that's the bad guy. Hey, yo. Gra. Oh, treat all my exes like no witnesses. Free of my dogs. No witnesses. Sit down. We standing on business. Standing on business. And see, but standing on business, that's still like a catchy Drake hook. That's like a classic, catchy Drake song-making situation there. Hey, yeah. Trying to look at my ex and making her vex. I'm too complex. I carry a whole lot of gold in my neck. He be talking down. He get the point in a lake. Capo the type you want to show up to the wake. I'm geeking so hard, don't know what to take. Don't know what I took. My doggy got booked for acting like book. He shoot him in daylight. Shoot him in daylight. Shoot him in daylight. Shoot him in daylight. Standing on business. Standing on business. See, that part's catchy enough. That part's catchy enough. I'll go back and replay it just to standing on business. Standing on business. Standing on business. But, hey, yo, you know what? Like we were saying, reading it's too late as well. Do we have to go back and pull up enemies, chat? Hey, yo. And again, you know, comparing Drake to the best version of himself as well, too, is never going to be fair. It is what it is. But still, you know, the level is definitely there. Hey, yo, chat. We cannot spell enemies. There we go. Hopefully. Oh, and now I closed down the page. Hey, yo. It is what it is. Why isn't it? Where is it, chat? Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Oh, is it enemies or energy? Is it energy? Maybe it's energy. Let me see. Do I even know the names of the songs at this point? Hey, yo. Let's see what we got. Okay, energy. Hey, yo. But it's got the hook, right? It's got the enemy's hook. So, I got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy. Hey, yo. Got girls in real life trying to eat up all day. Hey, yo. So, I feel like, you know, he's better here lyrically than he is on For All the Dogs. Like, maybe, I guess. But, you know, the beats here are great as well, too. And, obviously, again, his hooks and the catchiness and stuff is all great. I got people talking down on me. I guess, hey, yo. Do we have to play this one, chat? We'll fire this one up as well, too. It's been a minute since having him in the rotation, like we're saying. Hey, yo, the one people, except for CN Tower. The city is pretty. Say a flower. What color does the CN Tower? It's clear tonight. Here we go. Let me see. Drake. I guess it's just Drake karaoke on the pod. This is what happens when Iceman's a failure, chat. No, it's not a failure. Hey, yo. Chat. Hey, yo. He's got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy. Hey, yo, chat. I mean, Drake karaoke might just be a new segment on the pod. It is what it is. My day. Go online. Part of my day. Popping with my family, too. Never leave a Canada, too. I got 2 mortgages, 30 million in total. Hey, yo, chat. What's the family-friendly version of Drake karaoke? Hey, yo. Hey, yo, I guess there's a lot of hey, yo until we get to the chorus. Got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. Obviously, does he need to bring Metro Boomin back in for some of the beats? I guess maybe Metro Boomin was, what are we saying? What's the other one with Future that he did there? What a Time to Be Alive? Maybe Metro Boomin's on that. Who produced Energy? Shout out, chat. Hey, yo. Let's see what we got here. Song DNA. Who's the producer on this one? Cuddy Ranks, composer, Aubrey Graham, Matthew Samuels. We got a lot of composers we have to go through. Writers, right? Okay, Boy Wonder, for sure. Noah. Okay, so it's the crew. I guess he didn't bring it. Is Metro on? If you're reading this, it's too late. Is it Know Yourself, Six God? I don't remember. Maybe again, maybe it's just What a Time to Be Alive that I'm thinking of. Is Six God the Donkey Kong sample? Yeah, Boy Wonder and Noel again, and 40. So just those guys. Hey, yo. Just throwing heat. It is what it is. Do we have to go to Six God? Six! Maybe he need to sample the Donkey Kong soundtrack again and bring that back. Get your hurt, boy. Wait. Don't understand, boy. I guess, hey, yo, we need to know this one better, chat. Hey, yo. It is what it is. With the work, boy. Hey, that's the worst, boy. I'll admit it. You ain't been a man for a minute. Hey, yo, chat. What happened? The good old days. It is what it is. Ex-girl, she liked the female version of me. Whoa. Hey, yo. Got strippers. I don't know. That would be terrifying, chat. That would be awful. Hey, yo. The ex-girl female version. I guess that's probably why she's the ex-girl. Hey, yo, I hear everybody talking about what they gonna be. I got high hopes. I got money in courts. About to call an Uber. Hey, yo, I hear fairy tales about how they gonna run up on me. Well, run up when you see me, then we gonna see. Hey, yo, got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo, what's the hook on Iceman that works like energy? Is there anyone? And, you know, again, this is the interesting thing about and again, this is a very, very, again, personal take, but the interesting about For All the Dogs is there are people, I think, still with that album that, again, it's still isn't the best album that Drake has ever dropped, but it's still a mainstay in a lot of people's rotations. And again, I think some Sexy Songs for You, especially for, the last couple of years of Drake, like, it's got some songs that you really have to go back to. Like I'm saying, like CN Tower, ayo, I might buy that album. I mean, CN Tower's a great song. Ayo, have we made that clear? Do we buy a whole album for CN Tower? But it's the first track, so it's easy to play as well, too. We just buy the vinyl and just, just play the one song and then turn it off. It is what it is. But with that rap run, as well, too, with Give Me a Hug Like Smoke, like, there are good songs that you could, again, would somebody say that some Sexy Songs for You is the best Drake album? But I think that you could argue that it's not the worst, if that makes sense. And I think the tough part with this Iceman album is, and especially Maid of Honor and Abidi as well, too, like, we probably just clearly have to consider those, what do we say, like the get out of his label type of situations. If that's really what it is, and now Drake's just a free agent, then obviously, that makes sense. But, and I will say, I did like On Which One. That's why Which One does kind of work for me. It's because his cadence on that is like unique compared to, something. That's the one that we were making fun of the last time, where it's like the, hey, yo, let me hope everybody's big sound and watch your waist to the big man sound. Hey, yo, can we play it here real quick? Is my hair look good? Do my look right? Hey, yo, think I can knock about all the girls that are here for the truth? Come put your hands on the eBay booth and wind your waist to the big band sound. Oh yeah, I started off late. I was trying to catch up. Hey, yo, let me start over. Okay, 3 girls are here for the truth. Come put their hands on the DJ booth, wind your waist to the big band sound. We can't do it, chat. Hey, yo, pause. We can't do it. It is what it is. I guess we'll just have to. We'll do it solo. But all the girls that's here for the truth can put their hands on the DJ booth and wind your waist to the big man sound and get so stiff thing around. Make me lift your gown. Your face so sweet when I spin you around. If you go Link Gang, I'll bring you around. If you go to the bar, I'll bring you around. Which one? Which one? You're not like things you around. You a real good girl. I'll bring you down. But come to the bed, I'll fling you around. What? These girls can't make them songs for the gal. Them. Trust me, that's, hey yo. But again, at least he's like doing something creatively different. He probably should have just put Which One on the main album. It is what it is. And what did I miss? Obviously, a good track as well too. But I think unfortunately, this is maybe the first. And even if I'm taking Maid of Honor and Abidi out of it, Iceman might be the first consensus. Not bad, but the first consensus worst Drake album, where it's like we all can agree to put that one at the bottom of the list, if that makes sense. Where again, like, I guess Drake doesn't really have the consensus best one, because people will argue Nothing Was the Same, people will argue Take Care, people will argue Views. I guess people argue Scorpion. I don't know. Maybe Care Package. Honestly, never mind. But again, you would have had to have had a conversation at this point. And again, it wouldn't have been because they're bad projects. It would have just been ranking the strength of them. And then, by virtue of that, one of them just has to be last. So, which one would that have been? And then again, maybe you would have said some Sexy Songs for You. But I think I would take some Sexy Songs for You over Honestly Never Mind. I might take it over Dark Lane demo tapes. I don't know if that would be an either-or situation, or if I had other Drake rap albums, then I would take, the R&B album with some Sexy Songs for You. But I might take it, again, straight up over Care Package. The hot take would be if I took it over Scorpion. I don't think I would. Emotionless track. Hey, yo. Chat. Hey, yo. What are you guys? I forget. But let's go for Emotionless here. And see, this is, again, Drake post-beef in 2018. Rapping about Pusha T's type stuff. Mariah Carey on the sample here. You've got me feeling emotions. Ooh, higher. Yeah. I don't even know what the notes are, Chad. I don't even know what the notes are, but it's crazy. I mean, obviously Mariah Carey in that song is crazy, but then you pitch it up a couple of times. It's like, what is this? What is this? This isn't even. This is a UFO? What's a an unidentified flying vocal? It's just like we don't even know what this is. It's just, you've got me feeling emotions higher. Mariah Carey karaoke, not a good idea, just because it's impossible to to match. But Drake on this, don't link me. Don't hit me when you hear this and tell me your favorite song. Don't tell me you knew that it would be like this all along. I know this truth is, the truth is you wouldn't love me until I'm gone. And even then, the thing that comes after is moving on. I can't even capture the feeling I had at first. Meeting all my heroes, like seeing how magic works. The people I look up to are going from bad to worst. I say he started off a little slow, but he gets into it there. He gets into it. And meeting my heroes, it's like seeing how magic works. The people I look up to going from bad to worse. Their actions out of character, even when they rehearse. Working in the land of the free, home of the brave. I gotta bring my brothers or else I feel out of place. Breaking speed records. And they don't like that. It's written all on their face. I don't even know how I'm gonna make it out of here clean. Couldn't even keep track of who plays for the other team. Iconic duos rip and split at the seams. Good-hearted people are taking it to extremes. Leave me in limbo, question what I believe. Leave me asking what's their motive in making peace. Leaving me to not trust anybody I meet. Leaving me to ask, is there anybody like me? And then Mariah Carey again, you've got me feeling emotion. Missing out on my years. There was times when I wish I was where I was back when I used to wish I was here. Missing out on my days, scrolling through life, fishing for praise. Opinions from total strangers take me out of my ways. I try to see who's there at the other end of the shade. Most times just somebody that's underage. That's probably just alone and afraid. And lashing out that somebody else can feel their pain. I also hear people complain about the place that they live, and that people here are fake and they got nothing to give because they've been staring at somebody else's version of her. That makes another city seem more exciting than it is. I know a girl whose goal it was to visit. Oh, this is great storytelling by Drake here as well too. You know, Kendrick obviously, you know, Shireen and Keisha and great stories here. But you know, we've got this story about this Instagram model from Drake. I know a girl whose goal it was to visit Rome. She finally got to Rome, and all she did was post pictures for people at home, because all that mattered was impressing everybody she's known. I know there's a girl crying out for help, but her last caption is "Leave me alone." See, chat. I mean, she's crying out for help, but in her caption it says, "Leave me alone." I know a girl that's happily married till she puts down her phone. I know a girl that saves pictures from places she's flown to post later to make it look like she's still on the go. Look at the way we live, chat. What has this world become? Hey, yo, what are these Instagram models up to? Hey, yo, I mean, this is just, I mean, Drake is really just like, this is the worst of humanity right here. She's saving these pictures for later. He's like, I can't believe this. He's like, hey, yo. Look at the way we live. I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid. From empty souls who just wake up and look to debate. Until you staring at your seed, you can never relate. Breaking news in my life. I don't run into blogs. I'm only the one. What does he say here? The only ones I want to tell are the ones I can call. They always ask why let the story run if it's false. You know, a wise man once said nothing at all. I'm pretty exhausted and drained. I can't even pretend. All these people taking miles when you give them an inch. All these flowers, but who gonna follow me to the end? I guess I'll make it to the end and I'm gonna find out then. I mean, see, he's got a couple of lines in there, chat. He's got a couple of lines there. And just the go with the verses as well, too. Hey, yo. And we haven't even gone back into, like, you know, the early days as well too. What was the opening track? Make Them Cry, I think is what it was. Is it Make Them Cry? Make Them Cry? Hey, yo. Let's see if it's the first. Oh, it's still hot, chat. Okay. I did see some stats on the second day listens for this, and it was like, oh, yeah, people were not listening to it on the second day. It is what it is. Let's see. I'm an only child. No one could have made another. Oh, hey, yo. I have a father, my mother, and treat. I have to father my mother and treat my son's grandfather like my older brother. The skies are gray in Toronto. They not a golden color. I'm feeling like BTS because it took the whole career for me to be soul discovered. I know for sure that my parents, they look at me and see an overcomer. I'm looking back at these days. I see an older couple. I see my only uncle looking like that hurt that I ain't owing up to. And if he said the way I really felt, I'd probably see his side because I'm old enough to. But all my words, and it hurts when you don't obviously know how the song goes well enough as well too. I don't do psychedelics because I'm too scared of unpacking. Sometimes I only see myself in my therapist's glasses, but I'm not taking it serious because he's very attractive. I mean, this is actually one of the better songs as well too off of the album. So this is this is actually an example of what what is still there, and that is the thing. That is the thing. Like it's not like he's washed because there's still great moments. Like I said, the production, he still got some glimpses of it. It's just not the totality the way that again, maybe it was in previous projects, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Am I going to be sitting here 2-3 years after to be like, Iceman is a top 4 project for Drake from us, we love the way that he attacked this in this various way, blah blah blah. But again, I feel like I remember how I felt about that album then and how I felt about the other albums, and you hey yo, I mean, again, we could make analogies here, but I feel like there are things that, again, maybe they don't impact as much as other things right away, but they're gonna be around for a while. Hey yo, again, I feel like we know what the obvious analogy is. It is what it is, but it does happen. It does happen. Is For All the Dogs, was it a 10 out of, was it the 10 at the bar right away, chat? I don't know about that. It might have been the 7 who's the coworker. Hey yo, we're not, I guess, calling anybody out specifically. Is a 7 hot? I guess we have to. That's the poll for this question, chat. Hey, pause for the episode. The episode question. DM us at REMINGTOM. Let us know. Is a 7 hot? I guess. Do we want to know the answer to that? I'm not sure. But either way, what are we saying? Like, it's a, For All the Dogs is like a 7 with personality. It's like, okay, this is a good hang over time. Like, hey yo, you gotta spend a couple days with him. What am I guess? Hey yo, we're not talking about. Don't get mad. We're not talking about anybody. I'm just trying to make an example. I'm just Coward trying to make an example over here. I'm just like, hey, we're just following the paths of the greats. Coward would just like what Coward would compare it to a lady. So let's just compare it to a lady. Hey yo, it is what it is. But what are we saying? Like, I don't know if Iceman. I don't know if we get along with Iceman the same way we got along with For All the Dogs, Chad. It is what it is. Again, For All the Dogs was obviously not as hot as Take Care, and it was not as hot as Views. And again, even if you're reading it, it's too late. Like, obviously that early Drake run was just like, Chad, it was just like model after model after model. Hey yo, but as we got later into the career, there was a focus a little bit more on personality. And it's like, the times with these albums are still as good as the other times. Even if, you look back at those other albums and go, oh, wow, that's crazy. Hey, yo. Again, the relationship with For All the Dogs is just as strong as some of the other albums. I just, unfortunately, again, like Iceman, it was a good night. Hey, yo. It was fun. Like, I'm not mad about it. Like, it was not something I would take back, hey yo. But again, is Iceman gonna get called again? Hey yo, chat. Hey yo, are we calling Iceman back? Is essentially the question. I guess the album. Whoa, hey yo, pause. But are we calling the project back? It's essentially what we're saying. Is it hit that status? I guess, and again, it will. I guess it'll hit the status right now because we need it to. Hey yo, we need some new music. But I guess when we get another new project, are we gonna? I guess now the analogy is getting crazy. But what are we saying? That if we can, how would Coward get out of this one, chat? How would Coward end this analogy? I'm not sure. By comparing it to LeBron as well, do we have to bring LeBron into this somehow? Hey yo, I think is this like LeBron's season this year? I think LeBron's season. I guess. Hey yo. We probably shouldn't say that because, Drake and LeBron, not a great terms. But LeBron had a better season than a Drake had an album, chat. Hey, yo. It is what it is. Getting swept in the first round of the playoffs is better than this album. I don't know if that's necessarily true. But the individual performance of, LeBron was maybe a little bit better. I don't know. But, yeah, we do. Again, I can't say it's impossible that I'm not gonna look back one day and be like, you know what, Iceman's a great album. Like, you know what, kids, like Iceman is, you know what project you should be listening to and was underrated back in the day was Iceman by Drake. But again, maybe we'll run into Iceman some night out, and down the line and be like, you know what, it wasn't obviously like a great, or what would we say? It was a fun first night. Maybe nothing happened after that, but you know what? Let's try it again. You know what? Maybe we run it back a while down the road. But again, there's not that initial spark with Iceman. It is what it is, and I don't know if that's the things being changed because of the battle as well too. But I think that is a little bit musically. Again, there are going to be things like I'm saying that are going to be in the rotation. But, hey, yo, Chet, there are some pictures that you just can never delete. But, hey, yo, IT, cut that out. But what are we saying for songs? It's like some songs you're just never going to add to the, you're never going to untake them out from the playlist. Hey, yo, what did I miss? It's just going to be in the playlist, Hey, yo, I don't feel like I have to take What Did I Miss out of my playlist because Iceman doesn't live up, blah, 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 blah. It's like, that song's going to be in rotation. What did I miss? Duh. And that song is good. That song goes, ayo, hot take. Duh, 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 duh. Ooh, what did I miss? What did I miss? I guess I need to learn the lyrics more for that one. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But what are we saying? Do we have to go to break and edit some of this stuff out? Maybe I don't know. Wait, we're winding down, chat. We're winding down. IT says we're winding down. Hey, yo, okay. So I guess we do have Spurs versus Thunder tomorrow night that we are looking forward to. I don't know. Do we just do NBA series anticipate? But it is one of the most excited that I feel like the NBA world has been for a basketball series. I know that, for going the finals, nothing can really, I think, top the anticipation of LeBron versus Steph in those Cavs Warriors finals. It is what it is. As basketball fans, I feel like we've and maybe that's not fully true, but again, like Wemby, and this is a crazy statement, but anybody in the league right now, of course, Wemby, Shea, like all these guys, like I'm saying, they're years from being there. Like this is the first time that Shea and Wemby have played each other in the playoffs, and that is fun as well too. It is fun in some ways, any Spurs Thunder playoff series, like that is of course slowly developing into more and more of a rivalry. Ayo, I feel like the volume just spiked in this game. Am I sitting on the remote? Where's the remote, chat? Ayo, can you guys see it on the screen somewhere? I don't know, but yeah, we do. I guess. What are we saying? For actual in season or in the conference playoff series, I feel like maybe Warriors Rockets were up there as well too. Let me go back and pull those up real quick after I turn the volume down here real quick on this George Gervin classic game. Hey, yo, was this George Gervin bass boosted? Hey, yo, let me. Okay, there we go. Now it's manageable. But what are we saying? I feel like Warriors Rockets were in there, and then anything with Durant and the Spurs as well too. Which is what I say. These franchises themselves are slowly becoming more and more playoff rivals. Like, of course, the Thunder are actually, obviously technically a newer franchise. But the Spurs, I don't think really had like a ton of battles against the Sonics. Like we may have a couple of times, but I can't say, especially in the 2000s, the Sonics unfortunately just weren't the team. They had the Durant there for the season, but in terms of the Duncan, Parker, Ginobili era, they were not matched up against that team. Maybe again in the 90s. A couple of times. I'm not exactly certain, but I feel like the Jazz were more the rival in the 90s and the Rockets obviously as well too for the Spurs. Then Robinson was 80s at some point. I don't remember exactly what year he was drafted, but 89, 90, the semis. Let me see here. Oh, wait a second. We need to go to the Spurs page to see who they played that year. 56. I guess that kind of starts the run, obviously, of the 51s. Portland. They lost in 7 to Portland that year. I guess that is Clyde, so we can't be too bummed about that. Hey, yo, would the 89 Spurs have got the win over the Bulls in the finals? Robinson, hey, yo, 6-0. Rookie Robinson. Okay, Strickland, Maurice Cheeks, Terry Cummings, Willie Anderson, Sean Elliott, Vernon Maxwell as well, too. I mean, there's a version of that team, maybe. But I don't know if in 89, 90 it was right. They lost to the Warriors in 90, 91. I feel like David Robinson did have a little bit of playoff. There was some playoff conversation there. And then Phoenix, Chad, hey, they're just losing to everybody in the 90s. It is what it is. Phoenix in 91, 92. Phoenix again in 92, 93, so they got revenge to Portland. So maybe Phoenix was the main rival in the 90s. Again, we were at least able to get revenge on them in the 2000s. Okay, yeah, Utah 93, 94. I think the Rockets are probably going to pop up here soon as well. Yep, Houston 94, 95. Was it Houston 2 years in a row? Or Houston and then, Utah again. Okay, so there we go. Utah, the first repeat defeat. And this one was tough as well, too. 59 wins in 95, 96. Hey, should have been the Spurs year. 20 wins the next year. And then, that's right, Rookie Duncan did lose to, not Rookie Duncan, I guess. Was it Rookie Duncan? Second year Duncan? Because it was, strike season that Duncan was? Strike season, 99, 98, 99. So Rookie Duncan did lose to the Jazz as well, too, that year. So maybe Rookie Duncan versus... and David Robinson versus Jordan in the finals potentially, but again, the Sonics anyways. Like I said, literally not a single playoff matchup here versus the Sonics, who were a very prominent Western Conference team this entire time as well too. It's not like these teams weren't battling, but then you move into the 2000s. Yeah, Minnesota as well. Obviously Sacramento, but we again really didn't match up against Sacramento that much, so it was more Minnesota, Phoenix, Dallas, and then the Lakers. And then in the 2010s, it became the Thunder in the mix then. And then the Grizzlies as well, too. A little bit of Dallas as well, but you do have Dallas, the Golden State by the end of the decade as well. But, the Spurs, it was a different version of the team. Kawhi, we're talking kind of the Ginobili, Duncan Parker era. We don't reference the Kawhi era, but what are we saying? It was more, Memphis was weirdly the team because of that year that the episode. So you had Memphis, and then the Mavs, and then, what are we saying, the Thunder were the team that we were kind of staring down in the Western Conference time and time again those years. So, that is back in a major way. And again, when we were battling the Thunder, it was like, this is the intersection of basketball here, of the basketball timelines at that time as well, where it's like, Duncan and Ginobili and Parker, how much longer are they going to be around for? And then Durant, Westbrook, and James Harden. It was the other thing, like, how much longer are they going to be around for? Hey, this is going to be incredible. Obviously, they trade James Harden soon, and then ultimately, at the end of the day, they had a decade run there with Durant and Westbrook, so you can't say that, they didn't have a run together. It's like they did. But, not the 20-year, 15-year, run, obviously not a title as well, too, unfortunately. But, this now, it's like the Spurs and the Thunder on the same timeline, essentially. Shea, Jalen Williams, and Chet. I guess Shea maybe the most advanced player here, with De'Aaron Fox as well, too, in terms of timelines, league spent, playoff games, all different stuff. But, both teams, young teams, still, you would assume with like at least a 5-6 year competitive window, with the roster that they have to some degree with these guys. Again, obviously OKC's this is their third year of these guys, so there is, again, a little bit of a jump ahead. But where they're at in their careers, it is like athletically the matchup is there. Again, I don't even really know how the Spurs won some of those playoff series back in the day, because Durant and Westbrook were just objectively like the worst players you could ever play against for San Antonio. I don't really know how we won against LeBron in the finals the second year as well, too. I don't really know how we took him to 7. Hey, it's the best series of all time. That's how LeBron twists his series. Like, that's the most difficult series wins. That's the best series win of all time, best series loss of all time. We took LeBron to 7, and then the fact that we got LeBron to 5. But again, I still, it's the greatness of Duncan and Parker and Ginobili. I still don't know how in the later years they were able to win some of those series. Obviously, Ibaka did get hurt, which we're not going to talk about, and was a major reason. But either way, still Durant and Westbrook, should have alone just literally cooked them. And I guess bringing in Kawhi to have some kind of just defensive element to throw at Durant can't be underrated. But still, Westbrook as well too. Like, he just should have been cooking Parker and Ginobili maybe even a little bit more than that. And James Harden did as well too. That's why we've said before, like, James Harden is kind of the sneaky, terrifying guy there. I mean, unfortunately for him, the Spurs, again, like the Spurs, I don't know how the Spurs stops him in Houston. Like, there's that iconic highlight of Ginobili getting that game-winning block against him. It's like, I mean, again, it's just the greatest of Ginobili. Like, how does he do that? Hey, yo, how was Ginobili the guy guarding James Harden? But he was. I mean, shout out. And, we were winning that series there as well, too. But either way, I mean, this is big. I mean, is it difficult? Is it too much to say that this is the most exciting non-finals playoff series in the 2020s, essentially? And like Jokic versus the Thunder last year would have been pretty exciting as well too. Luka versus the Thunder obviously is exciting as well. I'm trying to think who, the Lakers in this playoff run with LeBron in the Western Conference. LeBron versus Jokic, I guess all those playoff series have definitely been exciting. But like with all due respect to Jokic and Edwards, did Jokic and Edwards have the same level of anticipation as the Thunder and Spurs do here? Like, this is, and maybe even, is it the most anticipated playoff series since like a Shaq Duncan playoff series? I don't want to get too dramatic here. But it might be at that level potentially. I'm sure they like Duncan versus Dirk at some runs. Kobe versus the ideal of course Kobe versus LeBron in the finals would have been the most. Maybe Kobe versus Melo in 2007 would have been up there. I don't know. Hey, yo, let's just see what the GPT says about this real quick, just to see what the, what the scan of the internet, I guess, would quickly say. But what are the best non-NBA or NBA playoff series? And then we'll go, series, parentheses, non-finals. So, again, that is obviously the championship on the line. Difficult to beat that. But, in terms of what else was there? Oh, yeah, I mean, chat, 2016, Golden State versus OKC, for sure. And then that ended up being more historic because they were down 3-1 as well, too. Eastern Conference Finals, 1998, they're going Bulls versus Pacers. Jordan versus Reggie Miller. The Last Dance Bulls versus the Last Dance Pacers as well, too. But then the Pacers got Jermaine O'Neal. Who would have thought the Pacers would have sustained longer than Chicago? Obviously, they didn't win a title. But 0-2 Kings. I mean, again, looking back, obviously one of the best series that has been played. But if we're talking about anticipation going into the series, but I guess have been played, but, one of the best conversation series anyways, if that makes sense. The 2013 Eastern Conference Finals, Heat versus Pacers. Was this the rematch? 2014 would have been. Did they rematch there as well too? Because again, would the rematch have been more anticipated than the first version of the series? Let me see here. 2013-14. Yeah, they went back-to-back years at the Eastern Conference Finals. 13-14, they were 56 wins. I don't think they were as competitive in this series. 6 games. Did it go 7? I think it went 7 the last series, but still, maybe the 2014 series was technically a little more anticipated. I'm not exactly sure, but they're giving us the better series as well too here. So 2013 was the better series. 2018 Warriors, yeah, the Rockets Warriors was definitely the later of the Rockets Warriors matchup. So yeah, that one has to be in the mix as well too. Bulls versus Celtics. Oh, 09. That does make me think, of course, of LeBron versus the Celtics. I guess LeBron versus Boston does have to be in there as well too. Of course, again, for what he performed, the level of him getting to that finals, of taking that Heat team to the finals for the first time anyways, was historic stuff. And I guess, was that them getting back to the finals as well too? After losing, did they play Boston that year? 06 Dallas versus the Spurs. We're not going to talk about that. 04 Spurs versus Dallas. Shout out. But what are we saying for 2013 Sacramento versus Golden State in the first round? Modern Classic? I guess it was a fun series. I don't know if that would go in Modern Classic standpoint. 95 Pacers Knicks as well. Again, there was definitely documentaries about that one. But wait, what was that Celtics Heat series? Actually, let's go to the Heat page. Hey, we like the Heat better. Let's go to the Miami Heat team page and see what we can find here. Even though I guess we hated that team more than we've hated any other Celtics team. Obviously, the Bam Adebayo, we're pro Bam here. Bam should have stopped at 80, but I mean we still liked Bam. It is what it is. But is that going to be? That's going to be a campaign we're going to start. I don't really know what the point of it is going to be, but it just seems like a good saying. They won 46 games in 11-12. Was it a shortened season? It would have been, obviously. They lost 20. So let me see. What are we looking for here? Yeah, they got the win over Boston in 7 in 11-12 and then won the finals the next year. So maybe that series about them getting back. And that Thunder, I mean, that Durant-LeBron series was pretty anticipated as well, too. But again, that was obviously finals, so that doesn't count for our run. I guess Thunder versus Lakers this year, yeah, that would have been a little anticipated. Maybe Thunder, like we're saying, Thunder Spurs as well, too. But I mean, this could be it, Chad. This could be it. So I mean, we're definitely, at least for now, looking forward to it. We were talking to our mama about it because she's a Spurs fan as well too. But she was like, I don't know why the experts are only giving us a 20-30% chance to win. I was like, it probably should be a little higher than that. Maybe upper 4, again, pretty close. Low 40s maybe. But I would say again in the emotional, what are we saying? The emotional brace for the Spurs fan. I mean, we were bracing the entire last series for Edwards to just drop 50 points 3 games in a row and just cook us. It is what it is. It never happened, fortunately. And, maybe similar situation happens again. But I am braced for, Shea's 60%. Shea has the best, most efficient playoff series of all time, and he's 35 a game. And it's like, well, why would that happen with Wemby? It's like, obviously, that's the point of having Wemby there. It's like, I don't know. I'm just mentally preparing for it. Like, obviously, I trust my guys. I love that, if we have a player to stop Shea, it's going to be Wemby defensively and the interior. I mean, I'm even, we were getting hot takey Castle over Edwards in the last live stream. I mean, we'll end this last live stream here and see how tomorrow's game goes. But I guess going into the game, I'm confident Castle versus Shea. Again, like I'm not saying I'd rank Castle as the better player in the league right now, but I like our team, and I'm confident about Dylan Harper over Jalen Williams. And this is the first time I would say that I've been more confident, at least going forward, team building wise, of I guess outside of Wemby over Shea, of like, yeah, we have the better 2 guys as well too around him. Like there's not a single. I wouldn't trade Wemby for Shea. Like I said, I wouldn't trade Castle for Chet. I guess wouldn't trade Wemby for. I guess Wemby for Chet's kind of obviously the physical comparison there. But obviously wouldn't trade Wemby for Chet. Wouldn't trade Shea for. Wouldn't trade. They wouldn't trade Shea for Castle either. But I wouldn't trade Castle for Shea. And I wouldn't trade Harper for Jalen Williams. That might be the one that they would make. Reset the contracts there as well, too. But, again, we're not doing that as well. We love Dylan Harper. So, I'm confident, but I'm still giving the OKC Thunder their respect as the defending champions. Shea his respect as the MVP of the league. As, I guess, you do have to say you can't say the best the best scorer in the league, right? He's the best scorer in the league. Because I guess Jokic is the best offensive player. Wemby's the best defensive player. And Shea's the best bucket getter. There we go. I guess, is Steph the best bucket getter in the league? Hey, yo. I guess, does Shea also listen with, I guess not with Angel Reese, but are they both in the chat at the same time? I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and see what happened there. But, yeah, we'll be back soon. You can see us here on the YouTube. Of course, follow along. Subscribe, hit the bell, chat, so you know when we're live. And hit the podcast platforms up as well, too. You can hit us up on the Instagram. On the Instagram. Hey, yo, you can hit us up at Instagram. On Instagram? How do you say it? Hey, yo, Instagram. DM us, Rim and Sam Pod, if you want to send us a message. It can be done that way. Sports messages only is what we mean, right? Hey, yo. But, I guess we'll give you another Instagram for other messages. But, whoa. Okay, we got to go, chat. We got to go. We're wilding. But, well, good luck to the Spurs. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.